The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
We heard them. Never mind. Oh.
That's you
I'm gonna stop right
talking yours. So this is
Big 10-4 rubber ducky.
pull that close to the edge of the table.
This one as well.
Yep, right there.
Penis.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear
Can
me
you hear me
now?
Can you hear me now? So,
Is this thing on?
okay, that's it. We're here, ready to go. Go do
All
your
right.
intro, Frank.
Okay, all right, we're here. Welcome to this week's show. I'm out here for Dino's weekend, and me and Brian, we're going to shoot a podcast like we do when I normally come out here. But we have two esteemed guests today that we weren't necessarily planning on having. But now they're here.
They've been staying in the house here, so
Yeah, they've been your house guests
Yeah.
for a couple days.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you've noticed we've been here.
He's like, wait, who are you guys?
Wait, what? They just come out of the room. We're like, anyways.
So anyway, welcome to the show. We have Taco and Daniel, both from Australia, here visiting. You guys were here for Sema,
Yeah.
for the Chubb Show, and now Dino's. So, well, how was Sema? What was Sema? I didn't go to Sema, so.
Sema was fucking good. It was super busy, like really busy. We're not used to having shows anywhere near that size.
Is that your first Sema?
Second Sema?
Oh, okay.
But like 6 years ago, before the whole COVID thing happened.
That's cool.
Yeah. Was it so? You? What about you?
Yeah, I was here for SEMA. I did All-Star event, the RA show. We started that one back up.
Yeah, you're part of Relaxed Atmosphere.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
right.
And you're in Sever Ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some representation.
Some club representation here. Give us we're starting this one a little slow just because
We're easing into it.
we're easing into it,
I'm a little sick.
and it's been a long week. We just went to the Chubb Show.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Mm-hmm. And you guys have never been to that.
No.
Nope.
No. What'd you think of that?
That was good. It was the pre-meet the night before the Chubb show was bigger than our biggest mini truck show.
No, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I think you told me that,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, like, he was telling me, like, was it the East Coast cruise
Yeah.
is smaller than that?
Yeah, I
That's
think it's
crazy.
usually about the 150-ish mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the biggest mini truck show
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But Chubb's was good. We'll just get, because we're not really going to have a recap on that except for right now.
Yeah, like
Unless
right now, we'll talk about we'll talk about it a little bit.
We'll talk about it a little bit, yeah.
Great show.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
I went up there Friday. We both got there Friday. Saturday, that show's like always like just crazy busy. Like it's just like going all day long.
Yeah.
Going all day long Saturday. It was really cool. I liked how this year, how they did the limbo like right in front of the booths right
Yeah.
there. That was really cool.
I didn't leave the booth the whole time.
Yeah. Well, you had already said that. You said you were not going to do that.
No.
You're
I was like, I'm
putting your
going
foot
to
down.
hang out in the booth. This is going to be my vacation show.
Yeah. And it was kind of mine too. I did a little bit of filming. I'm going to create some sort of content.
I'm over here rubbing Taco's legs.
I thought there was a full secret thing that we were supposed to talk about. That's why I'm allowed on the podcast.
I feel left out.
I'm not going to rub your leg, dude. Sorry.
Part of it.
Anyway, yeah. So no, the limbo in the middle was really cool. I like that. Oh, my content. So yeah, I filmed a little bit. I'm gonna create some sort of content. I don't know exactly what it's gonna be, but Lindsay did a lot of Lindsay's cranking out that content.
Yeah.
she made a lot. She's made a few reels already, and
Yeah. I didn't even take a camera.
I know you said that. How did that feel?
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm walking out of the house with no camera. Well, I haven't never done that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Not even that. Just in case.
I've
maybe.
taken all my camera gear and not shot the show.
Oh yeah, I've done that
But
many
I've never
times.
but I've never like intently left it.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
You were pretty adamant about just chilling.
But good time. So if you haven't been to Chubb's, go.
Yeah, definitely go do that.
Yeah.
And thanks to Izzy and Victoria and all the Freaks Nature guys who put on that event. They turned out like they normally do. Lots of freaks out there, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A good weekend. But now we're here
Now we're here for Dinos.
for Dino's.
With
I'm excited about that.
Australians.
Yeah.
So let's go. We'll just start with you.
We go around the table. Taco.
Yeah. So
Why
what's
they
your
call you
real
Taco?
name and why they call you Taco?
My real
Well, I've
name-
seen his. Wait, hold on. I've seen his screensaver thing. That
Oh, I'll put it right here on the screen.
I can only imagine
Put it
exactly.
right here.
Yeah.
My real name is Sean Bloemers, and I will leave why I'm called Taco to a later time slot.
Oh, I just thought maybe you were a Mexican food aficionado.
I love tacos.
Yeah.
We'll keep it at that.
Okay. I had this whole thing set up that I was gonna like. I thought maybe you're like, oh, I really like tacos or something, and then I was gonna be like, oh, how does Australian Mexican food compare to? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they have
It'd be
Mexican
more
food in
talking
Australia?
about Australian tacos versus Latina tacos.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. This isn't that kind of show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you the X-rated podcast.
Well, we always have a post podcast where me and him just chop it up for a little bit afterwards. That'll definitely be post
Yeah.
podcast.
When we turn everything off. then-
Yeah. That's when we all do like the fake laughing. And,
Yeah.
and there's no mics turned on.
Yeah. Just the silent banter.
Yeah.
I have a secret camera up there though that I record everything with. So
I've been walking around here naked the whole time I've been here.
He's all, oh, sorry.
yeah, I know. There's an OnlyFans channel that's live from this.
Oh,
house.
live feed. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been watching me sleep.
All right. Well, then we'll keep going then. So when did you get into mini trucking, and what do you have, and where do you live, and
I got into mini trucking about 05, 06. Halfway 05, 06 was like my first show. I live in the Gold Coast in Queensland. I was building a B2200 for about 4 years. And then I came over to the States and seen that you guys were doing way cooler stuff than we were doing. So I thought I'd try and step it up. And I bought at that time was a brand new body. So a 2010 Nissan Pathfinder.
and that was a flood vehicle, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
flood damage vehicle.
Yeah.
So I bought that, like full bumpers, glass, interior. And yeah, sort of chopped that up and got a shop to put it on a frame for me.
All right, on. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with it. I know of the truck. I've seen it kind of like throughout the build process and like in your videos and stuff. It's the white one, right?
Yeah, the white
Yeah.
one,
What stage is it at right now?
yeah. It's on to rebuild number
Oh, it's going through another thing.
5 or 4. But yeah, it's hopefully its last rebuild. So
Okay.
yeah, chassis fully powdered. I posted some pictures and stuff the other day of that. So
Yeah, we'll put some pictures up on the video podcast here. So, back to when you came to when did you come to the States the first time?
2016.
So that was your very first time coming over. You
Yeah.
didn't come over before that. So you
No,
just
that was my first time.
so you started rebuilding the Pathfinder after that,
Yeah. Yeah, so it was built before then. I think it was...
or rebuilding it after.
Yeah,
that.
it was rebuilt. So I think you came over in 11.
Oh, I came over 11, 12, and 13. But
Yes.
11 was when we filmed your truck.
Yeah, so 11 when it was primer, and it was like a super fresh build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were still excited about it.
Yeah, and now people are like, you still building that? And then some dude in Vegas beat me way to the punch with finishing one. So I was
Oh, the
like,
green one?
There's no
Yeah.
rush anymore.
And it had a 2JZ.
That's what I was going to talk about the motor next.
Yeah.
So it did have a 2. It has what does it have now?
Yeah, I started with a 2JZ, and then I sort of figured that at the time I was just like a poor landscaper, so I was trying to build it on a budget, and a 2J to get it to where I wanted it to be would cost way too much money. Like you got decent manifold, decent turbo, decent injectors, like everything sort of added up way too fast, decent ECU. So I decided to go like best bang for buck and go ended up LS.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of easier that way because you guys have it's like an El Camino looking vehicle that's like an LS.
Utes.
Yeah, those have
Ute,
LSs in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that motor's pretty accessible.
Yeah.
To
So
you. Is 2J like 1JZ 2JZ motors pretty accessible in Australia?
yeah,
or?
they're still pretty accessible.
Oh,
They
okay.
came out in like old Toyota Soras and stuff like that. So, and the 5.7 LSs came out in like VT Commodores, which are like
Commodores, yeah, that's what I've heard of
2002
this.
or something like that, and then onwards. So yeah, we just
Did
went
you
from,
get 6 liters down there too?
yeah 6 liters.
In the SS?
6.2s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6. Yeah, like it just goes up from there, and then everyone just gets crate motors now. So
Yeah. And a lot of Toyota V8s too, huh?
Yeah.
The 1UZs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Land Cruisers.
Yeah. I call
Those
them
are rowdy.
I call them boat anchors, but everyone loves their 4-liter quad cams.
Which is funny because that's what a 5.3 LS is.
Yeah.
It's just a boat. It's a boat motor
Yeah.
or a truck motor. It's like
Yeah.
So I guess the same.
Yeah. And LS back then was way easy to get aftermarket parts for, so you can get like all your pretty pulley kits and your rocker covers, your valve covers, all that sort of stuff.
And
It was
LSs
super
are
easy.
single overhead cams, so they're very small motors.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah, the
most
2J
everything
was
else-
really long.
really long and wide. Same with the Toyotas, right?
Yeah.
They're dual overhead cams.
Yeah.
So they're just huge.
Oh, the 1UZs are dual overhead.
Yeah,
cams?
so they're just
Yeah, they're-
massive. That's why no one uses them because the LS is like this big.
Yeah.
And you could just stack everything on it and shove it in something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go with you then. We'll just work all right down the table.
Let's do it. Daniel. Everyone just calls me Sloan. It's my last name. It's pretty easy.
Is that why they call it to you? Because it's your name? So they
Yeah, no cool X-rated content here.
Well, I mean, there's that other 4-letter thing they call me.
Yeah.
We won't say that now.
Well, doesn't everybody call each other that down there?
Yeah.
So
It's like a term of endearment.
See you next
without
Tuesday.
going completely off the rails.
See you
and-
next Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that the Canadians are very well versed in using that word as well, but I feel like it's more like a very Australian
It
thing.
is. They bit the Canadians.
That-
Or
yeah, the Canadians bit-
copied the Australians.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I always thought. I didn't want to say anything, but
The Canadians aren't as cool as like the Australians are. Like
yeah, the Australians are rowdy.
they're they're rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're prisoners.
I mean, they're,
We are.
they're criminals.
Yeah, we're prisoners.
Wait, I'm half English, so I do have a far bigger
So
superior.
you shipped us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but then again, I'm half Mexican, so I'm like a little.
They're on both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, who thought it was a good idea to put us all in the same place together?
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened with Mad Max, right?
Right? Oh yeah. Yeah. Or what's that movie where the guy's like, "Oh, you're not. I'm. Wait. How's it go?
Crocodile Dundee.
No.
This is a knife.
He's like, "You're not in here with me, or I'm in here with you, or something like that." No. Hey, moving on. Sorry.
I don't know. All right, so
Off the
you're in
rails.
Relax. How'd you get in Relax? How'd all that work out?
So me and a couple of buddies were sort of talking about wanting to do the club thing. A few of them been in a local Australian club, Horizontal, and that disbanded. And they sort of thought, well, let's try something. So we shot a message out to the Relax Worldwide page, and they said get in contact with this person who was Juan.
Oh, Juan Trevino.
Yeah. And he basically said, well, if you want to do anything, you're going to have to come out here.
Okay.
So we came over in 2016, went to LST, drove coast to coast in 2 weeks, and started our petitioning from there. And a couple of years later became a club in Australia.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
What was the first club in Australia?
Like the first
American club in Australia.
negative camber.
It was Negative Camper.
Does Jamie,
Okay.
right? When
Yeah.
he, like,
MC, yeah.
yeah, he.
Oh,
Jamie
okay.
and Laurie, yeah.
Lower, yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna have Jamie on eventually. We just got to figure out. He's not coming over, and we're not going over there anytime soon. But we want to get him on here because
Like a video call type thing.
Yeah, yeah, but he basically started the entire American
Yeah, truck club thing, yeah.
a long time ago.
And there were clubs that before that it existed.
I think there definitely would have been Australian clubs, but I don't know how many are still a thing anymore.
Like, what would be the first Australian mini truck club that's still around now?
ZA maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe Zero Altitude?
Yeah, something like that. 0 altitude, ground level, something like that.
Yeah, because they're all just like Australian clubs.
So there was a ground level because there's a ground level American mini truck club.
Yeah, but it's
so
different.
it's
Not
different.
associated,
There's
yeah.
two different things.
There is an Australian club. So most American clubs, they chopped it out to Australia, but there is a club that started in Australia that has a member here.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
LI, low
LI.
intentions.
Low intention.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
I've heard of low
And
intention.
that's Trey.
Trey.
Okay, well, hey, your knee
Oh,
is
yeah.
right here.
Trey and Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The
Yeah.
OGKIK people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're them. They're
Oh.
them.
They're the American members of the Australian Mini Truck Club.
Yeah, and they're all out here right now, right?
Yeah, there's probably like 6 of them out here right now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This whole Sema and Dinos thing is turning into a 2-week extravaganza.
Right. Yeah, definitely. With Chubbs kind of smashed there in the middle.
Yeah. In fact, I didn't bring my notes. I have a note. I need to note down, or else I'm going to forget. Damn it, forget to do this. Say this, but I have an idea.
Okay.
Anyways,
It's a cool thing having them so close together. Obviously, you go to SEMA to see like the super quality show cars, and it's more of a social thing. Like everyone usually comes together for SEMA, so it's good to see everyone there socially. And then obviously the Chubbs thing was on, and I haven't been to a truck show in the States before, so we went to that. And then Dino's is just
You're
insane
getting, like,
proportions now.
Three things. You're getting
Yeah.
the best of the best at SEMA, and then you're getting the mini truck show, and then you're getting the biggest C10 show in the States.
Yeah.
Back to back to back.
Well, the biggest thing about like Chubbs over the years that they kind of the space that they filled was like, you know, unless you're like in the industry or with a company or doing something, like it's, you know, you're really not, SEMA's not really a thing. So it filled this space for all the people who wanted to do like SEMA things, you know, but weren't really involved in SEMA. So it gave them something to kind of go to.
Yeah.
And it kind of filled that space for a while. It's kind of all melding together now, but in the beginning, like that's kind of like how it kind of worked out.
I heard that you can buy public tickets to SEMA on the Friday now.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
The Ignite thing or whatever?
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, I'm not going Friday. It's going to be way too busy.
Well, even not even the Ignite, just actual.
Yeah,
SEMA.
like
Oh, like
the
getting
actual
into the
thing.
actual show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Show.
okay. Oh, that's
Because
cool.
what's happening is, like we talked about, SEMA was it's a trade show, but so many people can just buy stuff online now and just bypass, you know, all that stuff. So SEMA has to figure something out. So that's what they did.
Well, it's
So
cool
you
to
didn't
see
go
like
down there on
adapt.
Friday to see what was going on.
No, we did. I did like 2 days before SEMA opened, and then I did 3 days of actual SEMA, and that was enough walking.
Yeah. What was the coolest thing you saw?
It was cool seeing the Kindig stuff in person, the Riddler winner. But the Classic Car Studios thing was fucking insane. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Which
good.
one was that?
What was it? Chevelle.
The 70 Chevelle.
Yeah,
Wide
like
body.
the wide body.
Section front guards, twin turbo.
That was the classic car studio. Did you see the nostalgia hot rods one?
Which one was that?
That was the same thing, like a Chevelle that they did a wide body and stuff.
I think that's the one he's talking about. The one that I'm talking about is like a teal blue one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was on the C-Tech stand. I can't remember.
I don't know. I'll have to
Yeah.
look and put
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Um,
Did you see that Miata with the fake Lambo motor? in it?
Lambo motor, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Lambo
hilarious.
intake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how that's like taking over the internet right now.
yeah.
And he would have thought he was getting away with it.
How?
Yeah.
It's like,
If he would have just said, "This is a Mazda Miata with an LS with the Lambo intake,"
yeah.
totally fine.
Which he said later because
he got
there's
caught.
everybody's like splicing these videos together where it's like, oh, it's a Lamborghini, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, it's an LS.
Fake it till you make it.
Hey, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the publicity he was after, I guess.
Oh, hey, yeah. No,
Yeah.
like bad, or what do they say? Bad press is still press.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes not in the car scene though.
That's
Yeah.
true. You can get flamed pretty easy.
Yeah. Well, this is not the first time that I've interviewed Taco. 2011, I went down there and did it, and we attempted to do an interview. Did I even put any of that interview portion in the video, or did I just put your truck in there?
Just my truck and like some quick shots of my head. That was about it.
Did you see how awkward he got when you mentioned it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's reverting.
I'm sure you'll have some content of it somewhere.
Oh, I still have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Insert that right here.
Yeah. This is my 2009 Nissan Pathfinder. I started building this car. I went to a show back in 2006 and saw mini trucks for the first time, and saw body trucks and just fell in love with it. Saw a clean ass Mazda, and that's what got me into building trucks, and I started to build one, and the scene just progressed in Australia to a point that everything was, I don't know. Brace yourself now, because Sean's Bloemers knows that 09 Pathfinder is one of the fattest, intense, most sensational customs you're ever going to lay your eyes on.
How old are you?
36.
36. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You?
32.
Okay.
Youngins. Mm-hmm. Jeez.
The way you were talking, I thought like he was like my age or or your age or something.
I just look super weathered.
Yeah. I was gonna say, damn, you look really good now.
Don't flirt with him.
So the big thing that everyone always asks is like about laws down there, and chassis laws, and like it's really strict down there, and like we were talking, like the lifted trucks here, like you can't do that there.
No. In Queensland, you're allowed to go 2 inches higher than factory.
Wow.
So
Now is that
There's no-
just 2 inches of suspension? You can't do body lifts, right?
no body lifts. You can get them plated for body lifts, but it's just too much hassle on brand new trucks.
Yeah.
So
And what's crazy is the 4-wheel drive scene down there is huge,
yeah,
but it's just like
But it's more like an overlander kind of
yeah,
like
it's more like an outback touring.
yeah,
type.
okay.
yeah,
yeah.
because like you're not going to take these trucks here, like
Like an LST like Silverado.
Yeah.
No, that
14-inch lift,
Yeah.
24-inch wheels.
Like, that wouldn't even get onto a trail.
They wouldn't even go on a trail here.
Well,
Those
when
are
you
not-
get down the road, because they would arrest you.
yeah, they get pretty rowdy.
Yeah,
down there.
yeah. For lifted and lowered trucks, the cops are onto it straight away.
Yeah, because I remember Jacko got done when we went to the ECC the first time I went down there.
Yeah.
Because they give you a ticket, so it's like a tag, right? So there's
The defect sticker.
yeah, so there's
Yeah.
like yellow and red or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so if they like deem it unsafe, they slap it with a.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it's self-clearing, and yellow, you got to take it for an inspection, and if you get a red sticker, it's just,
Ground.
Ton.
yeah, see you
can't-
later.
Yeah,
Really?
You can't even drive it away if it's a
No,
red
you got to get it
sticker.
towed.
Yeah, they won't even let you.
And then that's got to go over the pits. It's got to get a full inspection to make sure that it meets everything. And while they're there, they look at not just what it was defected for, but they go over the whole car.
Right. So, but outside of like a modified thing, is that for like cars that are like janky, like rusted out or falling apart?
It's way easier to drive a car like that than it is to drive a modified vehicle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So then all of these like all that stuff exists purely for modified vehicles?
No, you can get them on standard.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So like here, like not out here, it doesn't exist, but like on the East Coast, there's like a lot of like Texas and more towards the East Coast, the Rust Belt especially. They have like inspections that you have to do. You have to pass inspection, and they're looking for like rust and if they're like sound vehicles to drive down the road.
So we get them once a year in New South Wales. It's just called a pink slip. So you go in, they check your brakes, your tyres, your bearings, your lights. It's just a safety check to make sure the car is deemed safe for the roads, but it's up to their disclosure as to what they think is passable, what they say. Just get that fixed before I see it next.
And then for modified vehicles, so there's different. Do you call them states or provinces?
Yeah,
States.
states, yeah.
So there's Queensland's and New South Wales. That's where almost everybody lives.
Yeah, and Victoria,
Yeah, and then
About
so like
6 people in Tasmania.
yeah. They're all
And this is
related.
like the east side of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so and there's different laws in each. And you said New South Wales is really hard.
Yeah, Queensland's getting a lot easier to get. So Queensland was illegal for a long time to get a bag vehicle. You just weren't allowed to notch chassis. You weren't allowed to cut and do anything like that. But it's a lot easier now. It's actually probably becoming a little bit more easier than New South Wales because the engineers are getting real strict in New South Wales at the moment.
Yeah.
Then Queensland.
Yeah.
So you're like cutting the chassis, like so a step notch or
Yeah.
like a Z the frame or anything like that. So people back down there use just a lot of conventional body drops.
Yeah.
So if you leave the chassis stock, you can just lower the body down.
And I think, I don't know about every state, but most states you're still not allowed to narrow chassis, like to put like shorter diffs in and bigger wheels, like wider wheels and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure New South Wales it's a no-go.
Yeah.
So what would the axle be? So if you shorten the axle,
Yeah.
that's really not.
Yeah, we can still shorten the axle. You just know to shorten the chassis rails to allow you to
I
over shorten
see.
the axle, I guess, and run like 15s by like 20 by 15s or something like that.
Now, has anyone like tried to beat the system as far as like taking a chassis and making a custom chassis that looks identical to the stock chassis?
Yeah, people have definitely done
But
that.
then they'll just take measurements, right?
Yeah, but
They'll
if,
get that
if
down
it's
on
done, if it's done well enough, that you can probably get away with it.
Yeah. Because I remember leaving ECC, they were pulling people over and weren't they doing stress tests?
Yeah, so
Yeah, they had the
the
shaker
reason
out,
why
the shaker.
ECC
Yeah.
stopped in Bateman, so it was at Bateman's Bay for a long time, and then one of the last years, the Highway Patrol, which is the be all and end all of the police, they brought in a shaker. So they put everyone's car on a shaker, and it literally
Really?
just shakes your car to shit, and anything that's gonna fall off or break, or they just check for everything.
They're pretty much trying to ruin the scene
Yeah.
in the cars.
Wow.
So yeah, then it stopped being there altogether.
But isn't it like the other side of that though? Don't they have like you can submit plans for chassis and stuff and have like engineered,
So
approved
you
builds?
can definitely have engineered. So in Queensland, you can get engineered for bags and motor swaps and like seats and all that sort of stuff, but you still have to remain 4 inches off the ground at all times. So when your car's aired out, it still has to be 4 inches of
Oh,
ground
really? Even
clearance.
like laid out? Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they had to put bump stops, basically.
Yeah, so we put bump stops in, but we take them out, and it's easy enough to sort of put them back in and out and stuff.
Okay.
And then what about motors? So you guys don't have emissions laws there, or do you?
Yeah, we still need anything that the motor came out with from factory. Still sort of needs so catalytic converters and all that sort of stuff.
And it needs to meet the emissions of the vehicle that you pulled it out of.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's similar to out here. Well,
Yeah.
I'm from California.
Yeah,
And
California.
we can't go backwards with the motor. So,
Yeah, same
like,
here.
I've got a 89 pup. I can't put, an older 350
motor. Oh,
or
I
something
see.
in that.
But you can
'cause
put
it
a
was
newer motor in it.
Yeah.
So, but the newer motor, say you got it out of a Holden or whatever, like a new one, it has to meet the emission standards of the new motor,
Yeah.
not the old truck.
Yeah, not the old truck.
okay,
It has to meet the emissions for the car that the motor came out of to a T.
Yeah. Which, is that difficult or no?
There's ways to sort of do things if you go there and put E85 in it, just
Yeah.
as you get around to the emissions place.
Oh, just so it burns a little cleaner.
Yeah, it burns a bit cleaner.
Now, are they real strict, or are there people that you guys know?
No, they're not people
It's
that
more
we
of a
really
capacity thing half the time. Like they don't
Yeah.
really do those sort of tests.
Yeah. And then now being where you work, so what's the place you work? What's it called?
SCC fabrication,
What's that stand for?
South Coast Customs.
So you building custom.
Yeah, so like 40s to 70s C10s and like pickups. A couple of 56 F100s and Lincolns, and we've done Camaros and all sorts of things. But trucks are just crazy.
Yeah, same as here.
Yeah.
Just trucks are going.
Yeah.
C10 trucks are going.
And
crazy.
you're getting a lot of chassis now from over here,
Yeah.
which they have to go through an inspection too.
Yeah, so any chassis that we get over here have to be torsion tested and strength tested and everything like that before. We get an engineer certificate for that, and we supply that with the chassis, but it just depends on the state whether that engineer will allow that. Like in New South Wales, you still need like 1 or 2 factory cross members, so you sort of have to run a front clip and a rear clip and keep the factory center.
Are you getting these chassis from the States and then doing the stuff yourself, or are you working with the chassis companies to like, so like it's being done in the beginning, so you're not having to like do this?
We mostly get them and do everything ourselves. We are working on an Arizona high test chassis at the moment as well, though. So it's cool to have another quality company build something like to a good standard, and it's already powdered. Like all the lines are done, motors plumbed, like it's all wired. So you drop the cab on and away you go.
And you were out here. You were over at the shop.
Yeah,
checking stuff out. talking to
super
them.
impressive.
Yeah, is that the first time you visited
Yeah.
the shop? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Right on.
and the customer of that chassis was there.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. That's
Very
wild.
weirdly that
That's wild.
But yeah, we use chopping block, GSI, Morrison, Roadster Shop. It just depends what the customer wants and what his budget is, and like chassis are all new, cabs are all new, motors all new, everything's from
Oh, you're
scratch.
getting the repopped cabs
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you're basically building 2024
Yeah.
C10s down there.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so I have to tell the customers that they have to spend time finding a genuine cab and fix the rust, or they buy an aftermarket cab and fix the gaps. It's just
Oh.
one or the other, yeah.
Yeah. What's easier, you think?
If you can find a decent genuine cab, the genuine cab.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because most tooling is like 10 years old or 11 years old, so after they press more and more and more, like it starts to get a little bit skewed.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Even
I
a
didn't think
brand
of that.
new cab from like Premier,
Yeah.
you still got to tweak stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently watched that video about like them building, parts and stuff out in like Taiwan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, where sort of everything is made, everything's stamped sort of thing.
Yeah. Let's go. What do you want to talk about now? Mini trucking in Australia?
Yeah. I was like, we're still fascinated about the whole process because, growing up, like in like custom cars in general, like my family's been in it for a really long time. I always heard about Australian things, and we've actually sold cars to Australia, and guys would come over, find cars, and back then it was like turning them into right-hand drive, like they had to be right-hand drive.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing if you import
Anything new. So anything 25 or 25 years older.
Oh,
or
really?
20 or 25 years, yeah.
Because back then, like, this was back in 1997, and we were sending like Cadillacs and stuff over there, and they like 59 Cadillacs, 60 Cadillacs, and they were still doing the swap.
okay.
So that's not a thing anymore.
No.
No.
Oh, so they're like, oh, if it's older than 25 years old, you don't kind of mess with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
pretty
cool.
much.
Oh, right on. So like my 4Runner's in 94. It's 30 years old. You don't have to do anything
Yeah.
to it. I mean, but you guys you guys have surfs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
That's it.
surfs.
Same thing.
So what's a surf? What's the difference between a surf and a 4Runner? Do you know?
Right-hand drive.
That's it?
That's it?
I think it's just a different, like a few of your cars here, like your Chevy Sparks, our Holden Barina,
Yeah.
the Nissan Frontiers and Navara back home. I think
Yeah.
it's just, the left-headed
That's
cousin.
pretty much it. I always trip out every time I see a right-hand drive 4Runner. Like, I'm like, whoa.
We can send you right-hand drive conversion.
You know, that's the other thing I want to talk about. There's like a lot of guys who are like importing stuff to make things like true right-hand drive vehicles. I don't know him personally or anything. I've just seen it throughout the years. There's that orange Mazda. The guy imported a 4-door cab, and he imported.
That used to be an old Severed vehicle. So
okay. I think
that was
so.
green and black, and yeah, it was brought over to the States, and then he did he swapped it all back, so he unshaved it all, if you want to say. He put all new doors on and painted it fully green, and did some work to it.
Mm-hmm. And then that has the Ford front end on it, right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, the Ford Courier front end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always found that fascinating, how like it's equally as like exciting, I guess, on both ends, like us getting Australian stuff here, and then vice versa and everything like that.
I'm forever getting asked to send dual cabs over.
Except for when they find out about like actually doing it, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly
a process.
right.
Like it's a huge process.
I've always said to them, if you can get 6 or 8 people together that want to do it, they'll pony up the money, you organise a shipping container,
and
get
usually
it dropped at my house. I'll just put them in there, stand them on their backs, strap them down.
And after that, like, usually go down, everybody's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
It's always like a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah.
It's execution is another thing.
Yeah.
I always get asked at shows, so all our vehicles, it's up to the customer whether they stay left-hand drive or we turn them into right-hand drive. Mm-hmm. And everyone that's walking past the show, like, why didn't you convert it? Because the customer doesn't want to spend all that money because they don't have to. Mm-hmm. But they are worth more if you convert them to right-hand drive in Australia.
Oh, really?
They're worth more because they can be sold to a wider thing. Or...
I think people just care about when they go through a drive-through, and it's just easier.
Oh, really?
We talked about it before, and the right-hand drive conversion is an odd thing to me because it serves no purpose.
Not really. Unless you're buying like
different.
Yeah,
it's just to be different.
Definitely just to be different.
Yeah.
And I've seen all sorts of like. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember a guy named Ken Leet?
Yep.
Okay. Do you remember the Sonoma he built? That was right-hand drive.
No.
This freaking thing was just basically just some like metal with a sprocket.
Oh, yeah.
And a chain.
I'm pretty sure that's how they used to convert them in Australia to right-hand drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were leaving the steering column and everything on the left, and just a column
run a
and
chain over. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Bean style, where he's sitting on the roof and he's got like the controlling with the broomsticks and.
I'm divided on it. I think right-hand drive cars are cool, but like when they're true, like JDM or
it's one of those weird mods to me where it's very expensive to do it right, and when you're done, all you're doing is sitting on the other side of the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's like a novelty, I guess maybe.
But that's like body drops back home. Like we have to do traditional body drops. So when you do it, it's not like you guys where you go, all right, sweet, we'll cut this bit of frame out, put a smaller one in there. Cool, now my truck's bodied. Like for us, it's hours and hours and hours, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's just like, cool, now I sit 3 inches lower. I've got less leg room.
But
that's interesting.
But
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, but outside, but the truck's lower.
Yeah. That's where I know where you're going.
Yeah.
He's very passionate about body drop trucks. And you just struck a nerve.
Yeah. I've got one. That's
the thing. Like when you bought, you going to bed?
I'm really done now.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Okay. We won't be too loud.
I don't care.
Okay. Turn the music up. No, but like, so
It's got to be bodied.
it has.
Yeah.
It has to be bodied.
There's no reason.
Stop playing
not
games.
Bodied.
It's cool points.
Yeah.
But also when you're a body drop versus right-hand drive, when you just stare at a truck when it pulls up and airs out, it's body dropped. If a right-hand versus left-hand truck pulls up and airs out,
There's no difference.
There's the only difference is the guy's getting out on the other side of the freaking truck.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, that's cool. And that's it.
And you're just like, cool. But body drop, you're like, oh yeah. Because if it just lays frame.
But if you're going to body drop it, get rid of that pinch.
Yeah. Got to go hard seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a body drop truck, but I agree. Like, you got to go all the way down.
It's easy with old trucks. Like, you don't have to body drop them. They just lay hard.
Oh, yeah, like the C10s and stuff, yeah.
Well, even with all the new chassis, like you're basically buying a body drop.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting thing too, because like as the whole like C10 thing has gotten bigger and crazier and more popular, and like a lot of these dudes who are like kind of like getting into trucks now are buying them. I always find it funny. We go to a lot of C10 shows now, and I see these dudes, and they're great. They're great guys. I'm not talking anything bad about the guys in particular, but it's funny how they have this like bagged and body truck on huge wheels.
They don't even know.
And they don't even like they know it, but they don't. know it.
Yeah.
They don't
For
know
us
they don't know they have a body drop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They just think it lays like that.
Yeah.
That's how a truck should lay out.
Yeah.
But we've spent like years and years and years trying to figure out how to buy drop trucks and make them lay out and look good and everything like that.
Yeah,
and these dudes are just
traditional
like,
stock floor and how
And these dudes just come into the scene, buy a chassis, put the
Boom,
truck,
bag and
and they're
body
done.
drop.
And you're
Yeah.
just like, it's not fair.
yeah.
and their knees don't have to touch the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why people get into bigger trucks.
Yeah.
Right. So, what was is your Pathfinder your first buy drop truck or?
This is first and only truck. No, just kidding.
No, you said you built a B series.
Yeah,
Was your
no,
B series
I
buy
had
drop?
I had a B series way back in the day that I started to bag, and it was body dropped, but it was sort of like a half done project, and then I decided to body swap it. But in between building the Pathfinder, I decided to build another car because I was like, I'm up to the money part of this build and I can't afford it, but I know I can build a B2200 and finish it for a budget and then sell it and make a little bit of cash.
Okay.
Yeah, so I fully finished and like bagged it, but I didn't body drop that one. Sorry. Bagged, painted, like
said it.
freshened motor, and then I sold it. And
Do you
made
think
some
you
cash.
do you think you have that kind of like attitude towards buy drops and stuff like that because the club you're in, or like, or are you just kind of
Yeah,
like
it's more like when you first start in the scene, like that's up
that-
here. Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
about the C10s. Like
Yeah, it's like
when
badass.
you're out to build a truck, like you're like that's the goal, bagged and body dropped.
You
That's
just do
like-
the 3Bs, the bags, bodied on billets. Like that's the
Yeah, I could do that. I could do the third one.
Yeah.
Not really a billet guy.
And
Yeah.
the fourth's always been mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not building a C10.
That's true.
If you were building a C10,
Imagine-
you can't put it on you can't put it on.
can't not be
I'll
on
put them
billets.
shits on freaking chrome dub wheels.
Yeah.
I'll wait here and hold my breath while you do that.
yeah. You will. It'll be one of those things where you'd be like, I really like this.
Yeah.
And your brain's like, this looks so
That's what
stupid.
No, I
Toasty
know.
has been telling himself this whole time.
What is-
Toasty,
Yeah.
like Abbott with he's got a Tacoma over there. It's been on chromies for
Yeah,
20
the
years. He's like,
four-door.
I'll get billets one day, and I'm like, no, you're not.
I like chrome wheels.
He
Yeah.
painted the centers.
Yeah, it's finished, I guess.
No, it is.
It's a cool truck.
Yeah, no, it's a super cool truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of body mods on it,
Yeah.
like to make it look like that. No, Frank is very anti-billet.
I'm not anti-billet necessarily.
An anti-body drop as well.
We've come to the conclusion that it's just
Do you like trucks?
It's just great.
Do you even like what we're doing here? Like, oh no.
I just don't know how to do anything else. That's what I always say.
Is it the upkeep of the billets?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. With me, like, well, okay. To be fair, I've actually never owned a set. The closest I've ever come to a set of billets is I had some like old school like primes from back in the day or something
Yeah,
like
okay.
that. Some aluminum wheels. I wouldn't even consider those billets. Just call them aluminum wheels. But
Aluminium.
Yeah.
I'm over the upkeep of my billets, and I've never driven on them. So
it's just like I don't know.
It's a
Again,
very like trendy thing to say.
yeah,
that
billets.
too. But like if I had some, I would be the same. I live on a dirt road.
Yeah.
So like I live on a dirt road. They get dirty all the time. They'd probably get bent. Like Eric has 20-inch wheels. He has a 1500 Sierra, pretty stockish, bagged, and he has some 20-inch billet wheels with a fat tire. And this fool still has to like true them all the time. I'm like, I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
I'm about just mobbing, hitting potholes everywhere.
yeah.
Like the billet wave sort of hit Australia only a few years ago. Really.
Oh, really?
Like, there were people that ran the billets, but it was out of reach for most people. And then people started finding, 16-inch, 17-inch. And they're like, cool, I can put those on my Hilux or, my Rodeo stuff. Big billets aren't really a thing.
The problem is a lot of people in Australia will go on to Marketplace and buy billets and put them on their truck to say they have billets.
Yeah.
Like
And
they could be the
that leads
ugliest.
into the next thing.
That could be they could be the ugliest billets, but they'll be like, yeah, it's
But I
bag
have
body
billets.
on billets.
And that's like what we always talk about. It's just like people will buy billets just as they have them.
Yeah.
They might not look the best, but they'll be like, yeah.
yeah, Zach,
Oh, dang. Calling out people.
Which one's Zach?
Yeah, I know.
your club.
Oh, in Australia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, Zach.
it's alright. He moved away from the billets now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I've
Well,
seen
it's
that
also
plenty of
like
times.
a supply problem there.
Yeah.
Because it's not like here where they're made down the street.
Well, yeah, we import them all the time, but like, it's money. Like, and our dollar is so bad. It's 65 cents at the moment. So
65 cents to $1.
yeah,
So what would be a set of 24s? Like, what are yours? Yours are 24s.
yeah, 14K.
14,000.
Australian. Yeah.
So what that? So I don't
So about $2 American.
know. Free? That's free.
That'd be what, 11?
Yeah, something like that.
11,000?
But like that's the 14K is obviously including of the shipping. We got to pay tax and duty on anything over
That's
$1,000.
actually not
like,
too bad if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you want to fork out 11 grand?
I mean, well, I'm not going to fork out 11 grand, but there are plenty of people who do. Like,
But
that's,
yeah, like-
it's becoming pretty standard to spend at least 10 grand on a set of wheels. You know?
obviously it's the cost of the wheel, the cost of the rims, and then you got to get them shipped. And then you pay tax and duty and import fees, and then you got to wrap them in rubber, and everything is out.
Has there
super
anybody
fast.
attempted to build wheels down? What's the wheel law in Australia?
You
'Cause
can
I know
build-
it's
you can-
really
there's people
strict in Europe.
Yeah, there's people that build wheels down
Is
there.
there? Has there anybody started a wheel company, like a billet wheel company, or is it more just
There
like
is-
a two-piece?
Yeah. No, there is people in Australia. I saw a couple of people at Motorex and stuff like that. But yeah, we haven't used them yet. We sort of stick with like your race lines or your forge lines or like whatever
It's a real standard
intros.
billets.
Yeah, intros are the ones that have been around for ages.
It's also a thing with billets too, like whether it's Raceline or Intro or whatever. I mean, even Nick started designing some, and you just look at all of them, and they all start to look the same.
Yeah, that's my other complaint with billet wheels.
Yeah.
Is they all, but then again, like, which is funny because that's funny for me to say and not fair for me to say because my favorite wheel is just a chrome 5-spoke.
Yeah.
Like, how many times can you do a chrome 5-spoke?
But they'll do
wheel?
like they'll take the spoke and then they'll twist it.
And see, that's
And then
where
they'll add a
that's
spike.
where I don't
Yeah.
like where it goes when they try to get too creative with it,
Yeah.
and then it just gets off the rails, and then it just looks odd.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, to go back to what you were talking about people just buying wheels to slap on to say they have them, I've seen that happen a lot. But I've also seen in that case where people will do that and then go like, "Oh no," and then they'll buy a really nice set of wheels.
Yeah.
yeah. So I've seen that happen
The
before. too.
stepping stone.
Yeah, so I guess you need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's usually with some like 17-inch billets.
Yeah.
Yeah, some old like mid 90s kind of shits, you know.
That's the thing. A lot of people are just finding old Boyds and old intros and stuff on Facebook Marketplace and like, cool.
Yeah.
$600. I now own billets.
Yeah, but those are like those some of those are really classic looking wheels.
And they were, but you know, they're trucks that are built for 20, so they're losing out
Oh,
on
I see what you're
heap of
saying.
lift
Yeah. Oh,
and-
yeah. I see what you're saying. They get like a giant tire, little tiny wheel.
Yeah, so they lose out on lift and all
Yeah.
that sort of
So-
ridiculousness.
So what is your timeline now on your truck?
Finish it. Sometime in the next before my kid goes to fucking
College.
college. Yeah.
Before your kid starts to have kids?
No, my chassis is fully done now, so it's all powdered, painted, like everything's painted, billet stuff, and all bits and pieces. So all the lines are done. I got to do a few things to underneath the body and make them back together, and then wire it. And like it sounds like only a couple of things to do, but yeah.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the final things always take the longest. The most finicky things, and
Well, yeah, and especially since yours is like a full build from scratch kind
Yeah.
of thing, you know.
Do you ever regret going that far?
yes. Thanks for bringing that up.
I think you struck a chord.
It's only because we talk about this quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I've changed. My flavor's changed way. Like about 6 years ago, I'm like, I don't even want to do this anymore. But I was so deep that I just had to finish it. So
It's a battle that I have with my truck
yeah,
because I don't want. I know my line. Like we took the parts to get powdered,
yeah,
but I just spray painted the rest of my frame black.
yeah,
I could have taken the cab off. It's 4 bolts.
yeah,
The bed's already off. Undid things and taken that thing and had it powder coated. But if I did that, now I'm like, well, I did this. Mm-hmm. Now I
Yeah.
need these
Just
bolts.
snowball
Just-
effect.
And now I need this. So I basically forced myself to spray paint that frame
yeah,
because it keeps me in touch with my reality of a budget
Yeah, yeah.
and what I want. Because it can't just snowballs, right?
yeah, 100%. It snowballs super fast,
'Cause when
especially
you-
when you have access to people in the industry that have machines and
Well, yeah, because it's
and-
different for you, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
that wasn't always the case with you, right?
No, so I pretty much rebuilt everything on the frame now. So got the whole front off, and me and buddy from Rod's Customs rebuilt the whole frame, the whole rear end, new fuel cell, new upper control arms, like new ball link, everything. Like everything's new. So hopefully this is the last time.
Well, so
Just
now,
give
like, when was the last time you actually drove it?
I drove it at Halfway Havoc. I don't even know what year it was. It was probably like 5 years ago.
Oh, 5
Well, there's
years.
been
So that's
videos.
fairly
There's been
recently.
videos of it driving.
Yeah. So it has been a driver, but that's when I figured out it didn't drive how I wanted it to drive. Like it didn't feel right. So
Well,
I did
because
some research.
the reason I ask is because are you going to be in a situation because his truck hasn't ran and drove in almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So why I was going to say like when you do get to the end, you do get to the finish line, you're driving it around. Are you going to go like, I don't like this thing?
Yeah, I hope not, but
Well, so does he.
I thought I just want to finish it so I can start building what my taste is now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You want to build an older truck now.
Yeah, so like I was saying on the way to Arizona High Test, I'm like, I really want to build a K5 or like a body drop 59 Impala wagon. And then I got to High Test and they had a laid out K5 with a 59 dash. And I'm like,
Like that's it.
yeah, that's the one. Like,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, would you build your chassis, or do you think you would buy a chassis from?
I would 100% buy a chassis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way cheaper.
Way
Time-wise.
cheaper, and it's dusted. Someone else has done all the research. Like
Not necessarily
it's tried
cheaper,
and-
but time wise.
yeah, definitely time
Easier.
Yeah,
Like getting it to the finished product faster and enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely.
because then you just put the body on it and your
Yeah.
motor in it and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Turns into like a massive kit car, but obviously nothing ever fits the way it should fit. So
Now, are you going to keep your Pathfinder when you're done with it
yeah,
forever?
yeah. There's no way it'll ever sell for a quarter of what I put into
Well,
it. so-
even
It's
regardless,
funny how you guys are very like running parallel here.
yeah.
but regardless of that, would you sell it? Like, are you emotionally attached to it?
He's sexually attached.
I'd say I'm not, but I probably like if it came to like the crunch, I'd say I would be. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been 13 years of looking at this thing in my garage, just sitting there collecting dust.
Yeah.
Rebuild after rebuild, and obviously I've learned a lot. I've learned how to fabricate on it, which then led me to the job that I have now. And
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I look at it. I'm from a different perspective too. I've had a lot of vehicles over the years, but the truck I currently have was like it was basically built in a couple years, so I've been enjoying it ever since. So
Yeah.
like I don't have that same thing you guys got going on, so that's why I'm so kind of like fascinated by
the
it.
love-hate thing.
Yeah, well, no, I definitely hate my freaking thing. I definitely feel that. But this like it's funny with mine too. I've had mine for 12 years now, and I don't have that deep emotional attachment either to it.
Yeah,
a lot of
okay.
people think I do, just because I utilize it a lot for my brand and I use it like in imagery. And
Your emotional attachment to your truck is the fact that it's already done.
basically,
Because if you had to start over,
Yeah, we
that's
don't
not
want that.
something you want to do.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if someone came up to you and gave you the right money, you'd be like, "Here's the keys."
Yeah, basically.
Well, if
See you later.
I'd like to think,
Yeah.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd like to think that. Be like,
the
yeah,
right,
sure.
the right amount of money to buy his truck is enough money to buy and build an extra cab Tacoma the way he would want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So if it's not, 30 grand,
yeah.
then it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I'm
I
in
mean,
a
that would
different
be your
space.
next thing. Like if you were just like to choose what you wanted, it'd probably be an extra cab.
Extra
Tacoma.
cab Tacoma, just bagged,
Yep.
body dropped.
Yep.
Billets.
No way. I'll do the body drop. I hard stop on the billets.
You don't need billets on a Tacoma.
No.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and I don't need you're going down your adventure on the 20-inch wheels. I wouldn't do 20-inch wheels. I'd do 18s.
Yeah.
Just because it's funny thing that the things I like bother me and don't bother me, like not having big wheels on it doesn't really bother me. Like I'm not like, oh, I gotta have big wheels on it. It's like no, whatever. Or like paint, like full paint or anything like that, or even like an intricate suspension. Like I don't even care.
I didn't care about an intricate suspension either.
Right.
It's mostly about just making it work.
Yeah. I just want to drive the stupid thing.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, like if it was like clean paint, even if it was stock, and just running and driving, with
Yeah.
clean stock interior, just bagged
That's
and
perfect
bodied on
for
a, you know what I mean, on 18s.
That's where the Japanese get it right.
Yep.
Like their cars just look super
Yeah.
factory, very clean, but everything's immaculate on them.
Oh, dude, it's
I think
insane.
we have lost like this thing where we think we need the best everything,
Yeah.
and if you don't have the budget or the knowledge to have the best of everything, I had an interesting conversation with Danny's son
Which
at
Danny?
Chubbs, Danny Valencia.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And he was on.
There's
he's like-
Danny, our Danny.
no. And he was saying like, because he's got an 80/40 88, and it's like cambered. It's got
It's like a drift truck kind of.
yeah, and he's also doing like sheet metal, custom sheet metal. He's like mixing all these different worlds and stuff. And he's like, you say don't go farther than you should. And I'm like, no. I'm saying that to me because like you're young and you
Yeah.
have no fear of cutting your truck up because you can bring it back from nothing. I can't. I have to rely on people that I need to pay to do that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like you've never enjoyed your truck. So it's just like you've gone 13 years now without being able to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So some people, like, is it more important for you to enjoy your truck and take it to shows and do all this stuff? Or is it like, you know, because once you get it done and you get it, it's all shown and stuff, like, then that's it really.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation we were having the other day, because there's not many people sort of coming into the mini truck scene in Australia anymore.
Same here.
And when we sort of got into it, it was like, it didn't matter if it was rear bag with primer, you know, full blown show truck. Like, it was still something that was achievable to go, you know, buy the work ute, throw a notch in it, bag over diff on a mono leaf.
And it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's still fun and acceptable. And like, I think we were having that conversation where we've kind of screwed ourselves.
Yeah.
Because now young kids aren't getting into it because they feel like
It's
as
unattainable.
truck clubs, we're all in truck clubs with nice vehicles. RA and Severed, you know, to me, like, RA is like the top. Like, their vehicles are like, and same with Severed too, you know what I mean? But RA's like got a big, huge variety of different types of vehicles.
And all well done.
Yeah. And it's just like, to get into any of these clubs, we're telling you, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when I got in Forbidden, that wasn't the way. So like, we're kind of like stepping on each other. We're messing ourselves up.
Right. We're almost like kind of like that.
We want you to prove to us that you're going to be loyal to us, or not loyal, but you're going to be like
Progress.
Yeah.
And around, not just be scene hoppers. Because
Yeah.
we got a lot of those for a little while. People were swapping Commodores and Skylines and all of that, because they go, cool, mini trucks are sweet. They get one, they drag the arse out of it, you know, the valves stick or the compressors die, and they're like, oh, well, this is a lot of upkeep, and they don't look after them. They just get in, drive them, show them off because they're cool.
Yeah.
And then when they start needing money, they just swap it. And then the next guy does the same thing,
Yeah.
and it just repeats.
Yeah. And if we're not giving any of the people a chance to make it nicer, like, they come in with kind of not a beat up truck, but something not body drop, not this. And we're like, okay, if you want to get in our club, you have to do this, this, and this. And it's like,
when all they want to do, I just want to have fun.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I
Hang
remember
out.
05, I went to like my first show, Halfway Havoc. You see a truck just bagged in the arse, you're like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then you wake up like in a caravan park before the show and you hear 1/2-inch Ascos like airing up and things like popping and cracking and people dragging. And you're like, this is the fucking best thing like I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And now we're just like super critical on everyone. Like,
Yeah.
And it's hard because the scene's progressed so much in those 20 odd years where
but we've progressed as our
Yeah.
income's progressed, our knowledge has
Absolutely.
progressed.
Yeah.
But if
That's-
you're a 20-year-old kid, you don't have the same income, you don't have the same knowledge. You know what I mean? And then, so it's kind of it's a double-edged sword.
I don't know what it's like over here, but in Australia, there's like a kid in an apprenticeship, and they just get a loan that's like this big, and they're driving around better trucks than what we drive around. I was like,
yeah,
what the
that
hell is
happened.
going? Like,
yeah, they buy a brand new.
yeah, they just ticked up to the eyeballs because they still live
Yeah.
with mum and dad.
Yeah, we don't have that, but we have banks that just give them a loan for a freaking what are those GM car or not GM?
The Mopars, like
the Mopars,
Hellcats.
yeah, like a
and-
Hellcat.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they'll just go get a
Charger type
Hellcat,
thing.
Chargers,
have like a
yeah.
$1,500 car payment. They're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
24% interest and just like all this
Yeah.
crazy shit. It's like predatory loan stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens like way more than anything else that happens around here.
Yeah.
But again, like take away that part of it and going back to like that young, just want to have fun, get into it. That's like if we're like raising this threshold to get into, like that's lowering the threshold. All you got to walk into a dealership, sign your name, hopefully you pay for it or not pay for it, whatever, and then you get a car that's fun. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's sort of like that's where all the young people are kind of like trending to.
So there's
Like
a lot
that type of world.
That and like someone said it the other day. I think I was listening to Doug DeMero and he said something about the 350Zs and the Infiniti G35s.
Oh, yeah.
Like those are the new like beat cars because they're rear wheel
yeah.
drive, they're powerful, and you can just buy one and go out and do donuts with your buddies.
Yeah, you can buy it for like $3,000.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
Eric had that Q. What was that Q something or other?
I think they're G35s.
The 4-doors are too, because his was a 4-door.
Oh, then maybe the Qs.
Well, I don't know,
I don't
whatever.
know.
He
They're
had one.
rear wheel drive, and
Yeah.
they're 300 and something horsepower, and you could drift them and all that stuff. Because that's all we did. It's like our buddies had trucks, and they were dragging them up and down the street. And
Yeah,
we're like, I want to do
essentially
that
the same
too.
thing.
And it's hard because we used to look at just a bag truck on a set of normal, wheels that had paint. And you're like, cool, that's where I want to get to. And when you've got just a bagged in the arse truck or, you finally get it laid out, but it's in primer, it's like, these steps are so easy to get to. But now the standards, not the standard, but they see, you know, bagged, bodied, billets, big motor,
Paint,
fancy.
Interior.
Yeah. And you go like, well, fuck, that's $100,000.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
What's up with this G35? It's $2,500.
Yeah, just to hang out with 40-year-old dudes that act a bit gay and think go to bed early.
I never heard a more accurate description of what we do.
Well, we grew up with like Domination and like low life DVDs and like Surface, and it's just like dragging videos, and you see like wet t-shirt comps and everything was all crazy back then, and like
It's
now,
not that anymore.
now like there's not even any crazy guys coming into the scene like what there was, and if there was, all the like us like 40-year-old dudes would be like,
You need to calm down.
You need to calm the fuck
Yeah,
down.
which is an
I'm
interesting,
about to heat up a heat pack and go to bed.
right? Which is like an interesting flashpoint right now, because if you really think about it, we lament and we like look back on those days, the low life days, domination days, partying, having a good time.
Yeah.
We'd like, you know. But now we get all like these kids do these takeovers and do, you know, donuts in the middle of an intersection. We're like, "Rrr."
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's 100% the same thing.
It is 100%.
Well, if I was 15 years younger, I'd be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so would all the people that bitch about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't even care what you say.
I know.
First one now, I'll go now.
Now, because the excuse is like, yeah, but they're mean to the cops. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
so
Do
were
you remember? Do you remember?
I think it was Low Life Mike that stole a cop car at
Yeah.
one of the shows
Yeah.
and got arrested. So, like, yeah, that's
Well, Halfway Havoc, we got kicked out of a place called the White Albatross, which was like the most amazing place ever. So we did like 3 years there, got
This is
booted.
Halfway Havoc, right?
Halfway Havoc,
Yeah.
and never allowed back. Like lifetime ban. Like
Yeah.
it went to another owner. I stayed there not long ago and rolled up through in a mini truck, and they're like, "Are you with that group?" And I'm like, "Never heard of them."
Yeah,
Like-
what?
And then we went to another place called Valor Beach, and we got booted from there that same year. And then we weren't allowed back there, so it's been camping for like the last 10 years.
yeah. That one,
And
the halfway I
this
went
year
to
is
camping.
the first year. I mean, next year is the first year it's coming back to Valor. So everyone's like nostalgic about it. It's booked out straight away. Like
You're always chasing that time,
Right.
the
Yeah.
best time that you had.
Yeah.
We've said before, and we won't name names, but maybe people know who we're talking about. But when you make decisions like that when you're young, like destroying a rental car, and then later on in life, when you're in a different part and you need a rental car, and they go, "Hey, no," you're like, maybe,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just like, I don't know, man. That's life, I guess. I don't know.
No, it is. Yeah, it definitely is. It's just it would be like me. So if I went back to Australia, it's not gonna be the same as when I was there.
Not the
in
same
2000.
vibe.
Right.
You could still probably hit Bootsy in the stomach with a keyboard and some fluorescent lights.
We had some good times.
It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like a different wild.
But I would imagine, because I don't know, but I know I can imagine. I know exactly how it was, because like, you know, it was the same here, you know.
There was more
but I think,
male nudity than female nudity.
well, yeah,
Girls don't go to mini
again,
shows.
like he made that point earlier. It's a bunch of 40-year-old men acting kind of gay.
Yeah.
but no, what I mean is, if you went back, your experience would be way different. You'd experience it in a much different light.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
And you would say, I think you would have just as much fun and just as good
100%.
memories.
Because
Yeah.
my expectations wouldn't be what it was.
Exactly. He'd be like, I want to go hike. Well, maybe not hike. I don't know. That was a really stupid
You want to go
example.
swimming with Nigel Thornberry?
I'm not going to stay up till 4:30 in the morning and jump in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
did the one time that I was there.
You can
The
hold
last
my hair
time.
back and pat my back while I throw it behind a dumpster.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
You had long hair.
no.
No.
It was
Well,
just-
who was that? I remember. So was this all the same time that you were down there when you did this was the first DVD, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And that's when you were like hanging out at the people's houses and doing all that B-roll with like,
Yep.
hanging out
That
and
was
stuff?
like Jacko's house
Okay.
and Hitchy and Mal and Slam.
Yeah.
Then the second time was CCS,
Yep.
and that's when I went down, and that was like near Sydney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Central Coast,
Very
yeah.
close. Yeah.
So that's like when with Lori and all them, and
Yeah.
then the third time is when it was Halfway Havoc, and that's when
The monsoon.
Was that the
it
accident?
rained the whole time. No, the first one was the
Oh, the
accident.
first. Oh, okay.
Third one was just like we went down to Gold Coast one night, or no, Surfers Paradise.
Yeah.
We were at Mex's garage having a party, and then it was late. It was like 9-10 o'clock, and we're
Yeah.
like, let's go to Surfers.
Yeah. Let's go clubbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we did that. It was like an hour drive
Yeah.
in a tiny little car.
Yeah. In a Barina, whatever that is over here, a Spark.
Basically an old Chevy
Oh,
Spark.
Chevy Spark. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, the little tiny
And
car
it was
thing.
full, like of all of us. It was like a clown car. Like, yeah.
I just kept remember going back up to the ATM and pulling $200 out at a time and getting Red Bull vodkas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how we got home. I just know we had to sneak back into Mal's house.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Me and Cody.
Do you live with-
me and Nick.
Yeah. No, Nick stayed at mine, so it would have been Cody.
It would have been Cody,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did Mal live with his parents or something?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the dog was barking and it was sorry, Mal. But yeah, it was good times. But yeah, I wouldn't expect that going back there this time. Mm-hmm. It would just be more naps and
More naps, more...
No, I think we all do that.
You definitely did naps last time. I definitely remember naps on my couch.
oh yeah.
Excuse me for a second.
Oh yeah, but it would be and more kids.
Yeah.
There was no kids then. Now
Yeah, there was
everyone has
definitely no
kids.
kids then. And now it's a
Now you're not
childcare
even
centre.
allowed around kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's like a childcare centre. There's kids everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone has 1, 2, 3.
So Frank took a drink break.
Sorry, I needed... My throat's getting a little...
So what part of the country do you live in? So you live East Coast, like Brisbane,
Yeah. So I'm Gold Coast, yeah.
Gold Coast, yeah.
And I'm East Coast. I'm like 4 hours inland from Sydney,
Oh, okay.
around nothing at all.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we were just talking about there's 2,000 people live in your town? Or
Where I grew up, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm at now is probably about 5.
5,000?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've really stepped
Big
up to the
city living.
Yeah. But yeah, like there's nothing around where I live.
Yeah.
There's coal and wine, and
Wine, you said?
Yeah.
Coal and wine. Oh,
yeah, there's like 43 wineries in my town.
okay.
so is that the main like a big winery area in the whole country? Like people travel there for the
Yeah,
wineries?
so it's the #1 tourist town in Australia for 2 years in a row.
Oh, really?
Because it's so close to Sydney that they can come out for a weekend.
Oh, okay.
They go do the wine tours. They get drunk.
You know they have that on a sign somewhere, like in that town.
No, we don't.
Number 2, like
Not yet. Not yet. We're waiting to get the trifecta,
Yeah.
and then we might wreck something.
it's like you go to a bakery in Australia and it's everyone's won the best pie.
Oh yeah.
Same with pizza. There's a world famous
yeah,
pizza.
well famous.
Everything's
They
world
don't have
famous.
meat pies over here.
Yeah.
No.
Or sausage rolls.
They do have good pizza though.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you've been to LSE, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they have calicchis in Texas. That's
like a sausage roll.
That's like a sausage roll.
Oh, okay.
From like Wish, yeah.
So
What do you mean pie? Like
It's like a chicken pot pie.
Oh, okay.
But there's meat in it,
Like
different
a,
meats, and then they top it with mashed peas or mashed potato.
Oh, is that like
Yeah, you can
mince
get all
pie?
different ones.
That
There's
is-
hundreds of different pies you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just good on the go. Like
Yeah.
you can pick it up from bakery and like travel and
Or a
eat it.
servo.
so
You don't have to
good.
go for a sit down. Yeah.
and they have tomato sauce packets,
Yep.
not ketchup.
Yeah.
they
Tomato
call 'em-
sauce.
It's like ketchup but with like a quarter of the sugar.
No, oh, then it sucks.
Let's go.
How do
Why
you
even
get diabetes now?
Why even eat that?
Yeah, I remember going down there and it was like meat pies. We're going to the pie shop. And I'm
Did you like it?
Oh, I love them.
But you hate Vegemite?
Yeah, Vegemite sucks.
I think that is that just like a joke?
No, it's a legit
It's
thing.
like you
If
guys
you-
actually eat that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
If you're grown up eating it, yeah, it's good. But
No, it's not.
you guys,
There's no need for it.
You said you had some here?
Capsule of it in the garage on the floor for like 2. Someone brought it to me at Dino's from Australia, and I just it was like a little cap, like the little tomato sauce things. You crack them and they come out of the center.
Oh, so it was like a little plastic,
yeah, like a sort of travel
Yeah.
Vegemite thing.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you guys do dip, like you get a piece of pizza and they serve like you have like a bucket of ranch next to it.
yeah.
Whole hand in there.
Heck yeah. Ranch is
for
tight.
That's
Yeah.
for the that's for the crust though.
I saw
No, the whole pizza. You don't.
Nah.
You're not a ranch dipper.
Nah. But why? Well, then you just taste the ranch.
Yeah.
If I just wanted to taste the ranch, I would just eat the ranch.
I was with someone the other week in Vegas and they got a salad with it. It was supposed to be a side of ranch, but their lettuce leaves were like floating away. Like
Hey man, I get down on some ranch. I like me
Yeah.
some ranch.
Good ranch.
Good ranch. Good some
ranch,
good
yeah.
restaurant ranch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about.
No, I will dip,
I'll dip
the
them
whole
whole
pizza in
fucking-
there. But it's mostly, I won't. I'll like do, usually I'll do like the first, like the pointy part.
Oh, you'd be
Just the tip?
disgusted on how I eat pizza.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just
do we still have pizza left over?
There's a couple slices. in
just
there.
We'll
freaking
try it out.
Yeah.
ranch.
Yeah.
In my
I like
old club,
do you like barbecue sauce on pizza?
that's pretty good. But it has to be like a barbecue pizza, like a chicken.
First time I
barbecue
had
pizza.
it was like down there, I think.
No, really? That's an Australia thing.
I don't know if it's an Australian thing, but
I don't know why.
All our pizzas do seem to have Barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's like cheese, like margarita or cheese, whatever you want to call it, or Hawaiian or.
But yeah, most meat pizzas just get lathered up.
Or hot sauce. I like hot sauce on pizza.
Oh, hot sauce is tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
put hot sauce on everything.
Yeah,
Taco don't like hot sauce.
doesn't like-
Oh, I did hear.
Mayonnaise is too spicy.
Yeah, I know. Someone told me that you thought said ketchup is too spicy.
Yeah.
Or no, pepperoni.
But you say ketchup. Well, and
Well, see,
pepperoni.
we had the pepperoni at Trevor's the other night, and that was fine. But the pepperoni I had at what's it called, Pizza Rock in
Yeah.
Vegas, it was fucking spicy.
Oh, downtown.
Yeah, it was spicy. I was like, I'm like
It's just
picking
regular
off
pepperoni.
like all the pieces. Like,
I was telling.
Zesty at best.
yeah, I'll turn it into,
I should have stopped at Baker's and got some of the habanero ketchup.
Oh yeah.
That stuff's real good. But what was I gonna say about? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Anyway,
Anyway,
Australia. Oh, music. What kind of music you guys into?
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Remember that guy that asked?
Was it one of these guys?
No.
No.
No, but go. Do you have the drop thing on your Instagram real quick? Look at that band. I was gonna ask Taco because you're heavily into.
Australian hip hop.
Yes,
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah. You did tell me that.
I did.
Yes, you did tell me.
You are like,
Yeah, so I grew up. That's all I listened to.
yeah,
Like I've sort of like branched out a little bit now, but yeah, because not a lot of people are releasing stuff anymore. It's more like I don't know if you guys have I don't know what to call over here, lads in Australia. Like it's like
They're like 14-year-olds that dress up.
yeah, it's like a different type of rap now, and it's not really my thing.
I mean, there's the newest kind of like hip hop rap here. I don't know if it's actually it was like real flash in the pan. It's called drill music. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, drill, like it's mostly UK.
Yeah, well,
based.
yeah, but now it just kind of came here.
Yeah,
it's like a Chicago.
It's very
based,
similar to that.
It's like
Okay,
junkie drill.
like grime,
Yeah,
drill.
grime drill. Like
What am I looking for?
that message on the
From
drop.
who's it from?
I don't know. You want me to find it? Let me see it.
I don't know.
I'll look because he just messaged back. And
Oh,
said
he
that-
did. Okay.
Yeah, he made a music reference,
what?
and I was like, I need to ask Taco if he's heard
I
it.
don't have any because I don't know anything about Australian hip hop.
yeah.
I don't know anything. I know about Australian punk rock. That's why I was hoping you'd be like, oh, I love Australian punk rock. Do you know anything about Australian punk rock?
I don't.
Like Cosmic Psychos?
Who?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. No, there's
Yeah, I know
this,
heaps about the Australian hip hop side of things, but that's about as far as my Australian music knowledge goes.
Oh, okay.
Apart from like the real big names.
okay. Yeah. So there's this old punk rock band from like the 80s called the Cosmic Psychos. They've made music for a really long time. And then I recently got into this band called The Chats.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Well, we know the chats. Yeah,
So rad.
yeah.
Smoko.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smoko,
Smoko,
Pub
Pub
Feed.
Feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the band he mentioned was Frenzel Rom or something.
Frenzel Rom.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
yeah.
I don't even know.
The song said "Never had so much fun," and it was a
Oh, I
reference to
definitely
the
know
L.A. Can you even breathe the air in Los Angeles?
And let me see.
And what was the popular? Was it Hilltop Hoods?
Hilltop Hoods and Bliss and Esso were like the OG,
Bliss and Esso, yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
very first sort of big names that were out there. You had like other
we
ones
got
like Hijack and Torture and stuff, but those two were the really well-known ones.
What?
We lost a mic. Hold on. Unplug your mic and plug it back in. It's going there. It's on now. Don't.
I'm not gonna-
You know why? You always
I
touch
know,
your
I
mic. You
always-
always touch
I know.
it.
I
So
know.
no,
It's
sit
my-
on your hands.
It's my. I have like I don't know what is that called when you like have to fidget a
The
lot.
Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
No, it's just,
ADHD.
Maybe
Yeah.
OCD.
I was watching on the last episode.
I do it all the time. I tighten the mic here and then I touch
I was
this.
just you were
All
distracted. I
the
was just
time.
like watching. I was like, stop touching the mic.
I know. I know.
And get him like a Rubik's Cube or a fidget spinner or something.
Yeah.
Or like a ball, two ball. He's like this.
Yeah.
Am I undiagnosed with something? I don't know.
So yeah, Bliss and Esso and Hilltop Hoods.
Yeah, they're like sort of the originators of the first biggest names. Yeah.
Yeah. So well, my question was going to be before I went off the rails there. So like, what kind of is it more akin to like rap music or like hip hop music?
Hip hop back then, it's sort of turned into rap now.
Okay. So like hip hop, like American hip hop would be like Tribe Called Quest, like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like that similar to that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But then you've
That's
got-
good. I love hip hop. I
Yeah.
love hip hop, and like I said, I like hip hop. I like rap, but I'm much more of a hip hop person.
I found that most the Australian artists sort of went towards like the comedy, not comedy, but like it's like funny as well. Like so, there's like heaps of people like Draft and 360 and everyone and Seth Century, and it's all like it's hip hop, but it's comedic as well. Like
okay.
it's, like, yeah,
It's just funny.
Yeah,
So it's like an
it's funny.
Eminem kind
Yeah.
of thing.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so less gangster and hardcore.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
More
yeah, Australian
Just
stuff isn't
fucking
very
around.
gangster at all. Yeah, at all.
Are Australians not?
Yeah, we
very
don't rap
gangster?
about like money and hoes and like,
Well, when your dollar's only 65 cents to a dollar, you really can't.
yeah, we can't like bust a cap in someone. We,
we can't do that.
Maybe like stab him or something. Like,
But that comes back to the Eshe
Yeah.
shit. Like,
yeah, now it's all Eshes and they just
What? Oh, what?
What are those?
Eshes are sort of
they're
just,
like a 14-year-old kid in Nikes with like a bum bag on and short shorts, and they think they're really tough.
Oh,
There'll
so
be like
that's
a
like
group
a-
of 8 of them.
Yeah.
And they'll just stab
they
you.
just have knives and they just steal cars and go for
So you
joyrides.
just, so you just can you just run them over
Yeah.
like in a group? You just
Yeah.
like
Oh, society would be better.
Yeah.
Like the parents would miss them for like 3 days.
they don't even know they're gone.
Yeah, I'd
making
probably
you
get.
I
Like,
don't know how does that stack up to the old Gilbert
Goons?
the Gilbert Goons or the
Oh,
Mesa
yeah.
Misfits.
So damn it, I was gonna ask. That lost my train of thought on that one.
No, sorry.
Oh yeah, the lowrider scene in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big now.
It is big, right?
Yeah.
huge.
So what's
Especially
the
where we are.
deal with the laws on hydraulics there? Do they just like because
Well-
hydraulics is essentially it's all stock chassis.
Technically, you still have to have like self-leveling and everything like that. But I think because they're like a pre-so-and-so year,
Yeah.
the cops just don't know anything about them or don't know that. Like we have a show in the end of the year, the last Sunday, last Friday, and they're parked on the side of the road, all on 3 wheels, like laid out. Cops drive past and they're just giving a thumbs up. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's crazy.
Which is funny because, like, by the book in Australia, any modification you do to your vehicle needs to be engineered.
Yeah,
So
like, it still needs
that,
to be
like,
engineered and stuff, but no one
It's
does
so
it.
fresh, the scene as well.
Is
like-
it because it's not like they don't know much about it, or because I was going to ask that, do like older cars like hot rodders kind of get a pass a little bit, or
Yeah, definitely. Well, the hot rodders, they have their own association, so they have their own laws and stuff they have to adhere to.
Wasn't there a group of car guys trying to get in the government like 10 years ago? They started
Yeah, I
their own
think so.
party because how many political? So we're in no politics.
Yeah, no politics.
How many political
we
parties?
can talk about their politics. No one cares.
Oh yeah.
You're still asking the wrong people. How many parties are there?
There's a bunch of parties, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure,
anywhere
sure.
between 0 and 1,000.
All right,
Maybe.
moving on. I just remember seeing this, like a group of like auto people. They started like their own political party.
Really?
Yeah.
It would have just been Bazza and Dazza in the back shed, drunk on VB. Like, and they've just got Commodores that they've done burnouts with, and the cops are harassing them. They go, "Gonna get in government. We're gonna change some shit."
Sounds very familiar. Moving on. Yeah, no, I just thought I was wondering that if the older like hot rodders got kind of like a pass. So it's mainly they just mess with. Do they mess with like tuners and like mini truckers and stuff? That's mainly who. they're-
Four-wheel
Yeah.
drive guys are their big flavour as
Yeah,
well.
Oh, they're going
drives
after
and mini
those
trucks,
dudes.
yeah.
Massive.
Okay.
But do you see as the cops are getting because back when I was young, the cops were old guys to me. But now I'm the old guy, and like a lot of the cops are now younger than me.
Right.
There's cops that are still older than us, and there's some that are younger than us. And
But they just
around
got
our-
got a chip on it. They got a power trip.
Oh,
Yeah, the people that got bullied throughout their whole school life
They
became a
become
cop,
highway patrol.
and they become highway patrol and just
Same here.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, I don't know, your state troopers,
Yeah.
maybe highway patrol. I don't know.
Because there's city cops and then state like highway cops.
Right. So yeah, they.
Well,
pretty
no,
much-
there's actually city, county, and
But just in general, like
Oh, like,
for like we have the city cops and then highway patrol.
right.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Our highway patrol are basically there just to be gay.
their department. At the highway patrol, there's one cop and one department of transport in the car. You're supposed to be at all times, so they know the ins and outs of what is allowed and what. Like you get pulled over by a normal cop. Before bags were legal in Queensland, I got pulled over and he's like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "Suspension modifications," and he's had a look under. He's like, "It's airbagged. Is that legal?" And I'm like, "Yes." So he went back to his car for like half an hour. He was on the phone, and he came back. He's like, "I couldn't get a definite yes or no. This is illegal, so you can go." I'm like, "Thanks." He's like, "One of your wheels are bald." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on there."
Was it the back right one?
Yeah, it was the back right.
Forklift skids.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting. You know, it's really interesting to me that there's this like really I guess I don't know what the right word would be. Is this like control? When Australia is like a huge, well,
So,
it's a continent. It's
There's
a huge country.
there's a reason for this though.
Okay, hit
So-
me with it.
America grew up. The automobile is very ingrained in our culture. Mm-hmm. In Australia, the automobile was not. The automobile is just their. They never had cool old cars.
Like transport.
It was just their transport to get A to B. They had old 4-door ugly cars. Mm-hmm. We had cool cars from the get-go. Our cars were art. They were 2-door. That we tried to make them faster. It was just part of like our
The
entire
car
life.
companies were trying to make them faster
car
and
companies.
sexier and better.
Exactly. Yeah. It was always hot rods and modifications and all that stuff. Where in Australia, like the older Australian cars were not cool cars, right?
No, people like. A lot of people would probably argue the fact that they are, but I don't think they. I'm not into the Australian car
They're
scene.
not
but-
classic cars.
Yeah, but like XY Phase 3s, like the old Fords, they're worth they're $1 million car
Yeah.
all day, every day. Like it just depends, sort of what you're into, I guess.
Yeah, because I remember seeing some old cars. They were all 4-doors.
Yeah.
Right. There was like no 2-door version of the 4-door
Right.
car.
Yeah, we got Monaros and stuff like that, like all 2 doors.
Tiranas and
But it wasn't. But there's not really a sports car market.
Yeah, I think here because we had Mustangs and Camaros.
Right.
So we had our transportation cars, but then the OEMs also had the sports car versions of these.
which
things.
is we started getting those probably mid to late 90s with the Commodores and the Falcons. They started.
See how late that came into play though.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
we were
this
getting
was
this
like
in the 40s,
yeah,
50s,
yeah,
and
yeah.
60s.
back in the 70s, 80s, we did have the 4-door Holdens that had, the 253s and 308 V8s and,
But
back
like you
when
said,
my
they
dad-
were still 4-door cars. Like
Yeah,
they're not-
and heavy.
And I'm gonna don't get offended, but I'm gonna have a hot take here.
Yeah.
The Australian cars are not very good looking cars.
Yeah. I don't think they're good looking.
Objectively,
at all.
yeah. Objectively, they're not good looking.
Yeah.
And that's the point you're making. Is car companies here spent a lot of time and money and effort to make these sleek, fast, good looking cars, and they're like, this is a
Yeah,
car.
and we had drag racing, and we had the NHRA, and we had NASCAR. We had all these things that were just ingrained in us. Like, and it's just not in other countries. It wasn't like that. They were purely transportation. So I think there's a big disconnect there with laws and stuff like that.
But a lot of people are spending big money on older Australian cars. Like you got the Sharp HQ build that Downtown did, and like there's a XY Falcon that just came out forged, like big dollar XBs and
Do you
stuff
think
like
that's
that. But
like a pride thing?
yeah, like it's sort of like my dad had one of these when he was like it's a nostalgic type thing, I guess, as well.
Yeah, and it's an Australian car,
Yeah,
and it was built in Australia.
yeah.
And that's the thing, you get those
It's
guys
not
that
like,
are sort of-
it's a Camaro, I'm going to bring it over. or a
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another country.
it's a little bit of patriotism.
There you go. That's that's the perfect word for it.
Right.
Yeah, like it's like us with Toyotas and Nissans and stuff. It's like our car is like the Camaro, the Mustang. That's us.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when the Toyotas and Nissans came in, it took a long time for that to become accepted.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, there was this thing that happened in like the mid 40s that kind of decimated the whole. Took them a while to recover from that.
Let's not talk about Mustache Man.
Why is there no 50s Japanese cars? Yeah. I don't know.
There wasn't a 50s Japan. But it's funny, we did have like motor racing and all of that in Australia in, the 70s, 80s. It just wasn't as popular. The Bathurst 1000
Yeah.
is the biggest race of the year when it comes to Australia. And it was always Holden and Ford, which is like your GM and Ford forever. Like my old man grew up on it, his old man grew up on
What
it.
kind of racing is that?
V8
No, but like, is it like
circuit racing.
circuit racing?
circuit.
Okay, okay.
Because you have the V8 supercars. Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That was just on in Gold Coast. It's on right now in Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a series. Does it travel?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but that's changed since Holden disbanded. Like, there's now Toyotas and Nissans, Mustangs and Camaros and stuff in it.
What's made in Australia now? Because didn't Ford just stop making
Nothing. I don't think anything's made there now.
not even the Holdens or anything like that?
Holden closed 2014, 2015.
Oh wow.
I know Ford did because Ford was making cars over there, right?
Yeah, we were still having the Falcons and
Yeah.
the things that you guys sort of didn't get so much. But
We had Falcons. They were just in the like 60s, like
Yep.
early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, like a
Did you guys
Ranchero.
like XMs or like the older 60 Falcons?
I don't know
XM, XK,
Yeah.
XP.
I don't know when
type
the
thing.
think so.
end of the Falcon era was.
I don't know much about that stuff.
Yeah.
I know they definitely had them 65 Falcons, 66 Falcons. Maybe mid 60s was probably something.
So there's no automotive, nothing's being produced there.
No.
I don't think so, not that I know of.
Where is it being made? China, Mexico,
Overseas, yeah. We import
Here in China
Isuzu,
and-
Toyota, Nissan, Mitsubishi.
Japan, Korea.
Yeah, we're starting to get sort of the full size movement over the last few years in Australia now. So
Full size trucks?
yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
like the
Silverados and
F-150s, the 1500 Silverados.
Again,
and
which
Rams.
is really interesting that, like, you know, the thing is like the joke that you make is like we have these half-ton trucks, these huge trucks to pull our mini trucks when these guys are doing them with, you know, mini trucks pulling mini trucks. Again, Australia's a huge place. It would make really a lot of sense to have giant trucks there like we do.
Yeah, but they don't need them because you can do what you can do with a giant truck. You can do with a mid-sized truck with a diesel motor.
Yeah. And it's the price point. Like to get a 1500 Silverado standard cab over there and they're only gas motors, they're starting at like, what, 140, 150 grand?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Dave Russell told me one time, because remember he worked
He
for
did
that
the,
importer?
he did all the conversions and stuff.
Yeah, he did the conversions for the right-hand drives. And it was like a $35,000 thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there like no such thing as like F-250 dualies?
There
Or
is,
350
but
dualies?
they're, you know, 200 plus.
So they have to buy them here. If you buy a brand new one here, 80 grand, and then you got to ship it, whatever that costs, then you have to get it up to code there with the right-hand drive.
So you
stick.
could have like a $300,000.
Well,
Yeah,
I know someone that's got like a Shelby Raptor, and they only paid like $300,000 for it.
Wow. Wow. That was going to be my next question. Is there a lot of off-road racing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty big.
it's not so big in Australia. Like I've got a buddy that's like sponsored by Red Bull, and he's doing the Dakar and stuff.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
doing the Baja right now in Mexico.
But not a lot in Australia
No,
itself.
there's
We've
a
got the
race called
Fink.
Fink.
Yeah.
But it's
Again, it
it's
would make
more
sense.
you
You guys
spend-
have nothing but land to race on.
Well, it's also an island. So anything
true.
from it has to be shipped in.
Yeah, I'm like lacking that part.
Yeah,
but
so
it's
like
more
we
you
have-
spend $600,000 to build a truck, and you win like $10,000 prize pool. Mm-hmm. You're like,
Yeah, because when I went to New Zealand for the foreign rotor Nats, like it was a lot of Aussie guys that brought their drag cars over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then so it's like you got to put them on a boat and take them over
That
there.
makes-
and,
I'm lacking that part.
and Australia too. It's like there's basically Brisbane, Sydney, and Perth. Those are your big hubs.
yeah. Brisbane City, Melbourne, and then
Oh, and Melbourne. Sorry, yeah.
You've
yeah.
got Adelaide, but we don't.
Adelaide and Perth. We don't really talk to those guys.
Yeah.
Perth
Those
is
like
like
the
a,
rednecks.
Yeah, no, they're just on the other side of the. It's like a.
They're like Canadians to us.
Oh, okay.
Perth was wild to me because it is a pretty big city.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
I heard
beautiful.
it's just wild too.
Yeah.
It's just like people are just crazy over there.
Yeah.
Well, over there, because there's a lot of fly in, fly out mine workers and everything out there. So there's so much money in such a dense area that it's just.
Have you ever made the drive across?
definitely not.
Would you?
No.
Not something you ever
Why
want
not?
to do?
That sounds fun.
Because there's nothing.
Yeah, it's
there's
like
nothing, and just terrible roads that rip your car apart. Like,
yeah.
One of our buddies did that drive. He moved over to Perth from Sydney, and he's got a bagged, body dropped
And he drove that.
LS1 on 22-inch
Frontiera, yeah.
intros.
Oh, I think I've seen
Sean
that.
Dougal.
Yeah.
And he towed a car trailer with like his washing machine, dryer, all
No
of that.
way.
Just drove straight across the country.
You can do the south drive, right? You can go south, Melbourne. all the
Yeah,
way
but
in.
that takes even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there. Like I
No,
literally
there's still nothing.
Still,
Like Jasmine all just did that drive. Like
Yeah, she
Jasmine
did
with that
Melbourne.
yeah.
Yeah, she just did Melbourne to a lowrider show in like Central
Sydney.
Coast.
Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney.
How many hours is that?
I don't even know.
Because we did
10 or 12.
Yeah.
when we did Brisbane to Batesman Bay, that was a long drive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like it's usually like 16 hours towing back then.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long drive.
Should have just flown into Sydney.
Because did you do it in one hit?
No, we did it. Well, we got in the accident,
Yeah. That's
so we
right.
went. We left early in the morning. Got in that accident. I forgot the town that was in. It wasn't very far away.
Ballina or maybe it was
Yeah.
just over the border. Coffs Harbour.
Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
Yep. And then so we sat there all day long waiting to see if we can get Mel's truck fixed.
Yeah.
His Nissan Patrol, and we couldn't. So we ended up renting a van, and then we drove. We didn't get very far. Got a hotel, and then we made it down to Sydney for the night.
Yeah. Okay.
And then because they always had a party there,
Yep.
and then did the rest the next day, which wasn't far, like Sydney to Batesman.
Was
Bay.
that-
Nah,
did
that's
you make it to-
5 hours or something.
Was that the time we all stopped at the chop shop?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You were there, weren't you?
Yeah. I got my Pathfinder was parked inside for
Yeah.
the night.
That's right. Yeah.
Push it down that stupid driveway in a car that doesn't run.
And your home driveway was terrible.
Yeah.
It was like this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Garage, driveway.
Yeah.
Did you not pushing
I needed 8 people
back truck
power
out?
to push it up.
No, wow.
Yeah, that was a drive. Getting in an accident down there was interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. How's
Just well,
Wasn't
getting in an
worried about
accident in
being
general. What's that?
Weren't worried about being shot.
Yeah, no.
I mean, that's a constant worry around here now.
No, just weird. Just I've never been in an accident like that. And then just like waiting around trying to figure out getting things fixed, and I don't know. It was just weird. And we destroyed all of the alcohol we brought because it was in the back of Lauren's truck.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like it's legal to drink, not drink and drive, but you can drink while in the vehicle.
No.
I remember that was a huge thing.
You're not allowed to open alcohol in a car.
Then what was all those videos back in the day, like the low life videos and everybody like drinking and
Oh,
driving?
Oh, no, you can do it.
Oh, okay.
You just
It's like
can't
one of
get
those things.
caught.
Oh,
Everything's illegal.
I thought that
You
was
can
like
do whatever you want, so you can't.
that's what
Yeah.
that's what happens in Mississippi.
Well, Mississippi, you legally can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to stay below 0.05.
Oh, like
Blood alcohol.
Oh,
limit.
I see.
Yeah.
But you
0.08,
still
yeah.
can't be driving.
You
And
can't-
I've been sold on a lie because I used to watch those videos and like these dudes can just like they're drinking in the back, handing beers over.
Well, did you see the grinder one when me and Dean drank 2 bottles of rum on
Yeah.
the way down there?
Yeah, that's what I and
Yeah, and Mal was so pissed at us because more pissed at Dean because Dean, when he gets drunk, he's just this annoying. Like we
Yeah.
pulled up in traffic and Dean jumped out. He would jump out, run around, and say hi to people. We're on the highway.
yeah.
Mal just left him.
Oh,
And
really?
He ended up
Yeah.
hopping in a
Like-
car, someone else's car, and met us at the next gas station.
Yeah, that was
So they were just good old shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's going back to what we said before when we were young and dumb.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
All right.
Would you go to Australia?
Yeah, I definitely. That's like on my bucket list. Australia and Japan.
How are you with flights?
Not good.
He just
I
flew
took my first one like last year,
How far was it?
just from here to Nashville. So
What's the hours?
3 hours.
like 3 hours, like something like that. I was just because like before that I'd never taken a plane ride, and I'm
shit.
terrified about planes, and I'm still not too stoked on them.
How do you feel about Valium?
You know what? I don't know. Maybe
That'll help you.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Xanax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
something
You know what bugged me the most about that whole thing was the like because we had a not a layover. What's it called when you stop?
Connection flight?
Connection, yeah. So we flew out of Ontario, got to Texas, Dallas, and then got on another plane. It's the whole going up, going down, getting another one, going up, and then going down.
Yeah.
Like if I could just go up and then go like that.
That's Australia
That's
for you.
Australia.
And I
There's
think- I
nowhere.
think-
There's nowhere to land in between.
Well, there is.
That's called crashing.
Yeah, I think maybe that's
Falling
why
with style.
Yeah.
I might be able to handle that better because I just hated the whole like, we got to do this again.
Yeah, I'm
you know?
exactly the same way. So I paid for about 2,000 return for my flights to come to LAX and back. I could have got them for $900 return if I wanted to do a stopover in Fiji.
Yeah. And I stopped in Fiji once.
Yeah,
The
okay.
first time I stopped in Fiji on the way back. I think I went Brisbane to Sydney to Fiji. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. I did one to Auckland. Yeah.
It'd be okay if you stopped at Fiji and spent a couple of days there to break it up, but when
Yeah.
you just stop there, you're sitting at the airport for 6 hours or however
And the
long it is.
airport sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tiny.
Yeah. And it was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
No, but I'd love to go to Australia. I really want to go and check it out for myself.
Yeah.
See what's
I
going
want to
on.
go to ECC and then just do like the touristy stuff.
yeah.
Because I've been 3 times and never really, like we drove through Sydney. I drove over the bridge, saw the Opera House, but never like, we didn't stop.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. Didn't go to the Barrier Reef.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Taco took me to a zoo with the dead kangaroos.
I can take you to that.
They were just
zoo.
grown up in captivity, so they're just super docile. Like they've just been fed like 24/7 their whole life, and they just lay there, and you can go up and poke them and pat them.
Yeah, I was just laying next to
Yeah,
them.
whatever.
Yeah.
But they have that huge zoo right there.
Yeah, we got a huge zoo.
The Steve Irwin one?
Yeah, Australia Zoo is like 2
Do they have
hours
drop
long.
bears there?
There's drop bears
yeah.
everywhere. You got to watch out for those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I heard.
There's a campaign that's called Look Up, Stay Alive. I think we're joking.
Wait, I thought that was a joke.
The drop bear? No, that's real.
Oh, that's real?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
If you Google drop bears, the Australian Museum online's got a page on them.
I thought it was.
Bro,
I thought it was
I
a
won
whole.
you a.
No.
We're talking about koalas, right?
No,
Yeah.
they're different. Well,
They're
it's-
oh,
they're same but different.
oh, I thought this was a joke the entire time.
Nope.
We
You
have a
search
Drop Bear
Bear.
Facebook page that we made with the one we got.
You guys are lying to me. AI is telling me that's not true.
Well,
Gonna believe AI?
AI is not real either.
AI is not real. The AI and Drop Bears are in it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
The first year
we're
I
gonna
came
get
over here, it was
Frank.
about 4 a.m. after LST, and I was at a Waffle House with a couple members, and I had them sold on Drop Bears for about 2 days.
He had me for about 75 seconds.
Americans
You should have
believe,
told me not to Google it, and then I would have
I
been
should
like,
have Googled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been
Americans
in.
believe whatever they are told.
No,
Yeah. Let's not get political now.
hey, who's gonna? Hey, easy. I didn't say
talking about
nothing
Drop
about
Bears
that.
over
Yeah. Look at me touching this thing right here.
I know.
I'll touch
Stop
this
it.
thing.
Don't touch the wire.
I'm not touching the wire. Is this mine or yours? It's probably mine.
I have no idea. They're all the same.
Yeah.
That's the bad one. It's not Brian.
It's yours. It's the
You got the broken one.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know. I'm like so not anxiety, but starting to pack today for Dino's, packing the trailer and stuff.
Yeah.
I just get like all over the place.
It's a little bit different for me because since I don't have like a full booth and I'm kind of like hanging out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a little more relaxed than you are.
Well, you still have to work a booth all weekend.
No, yeah, I know. No, that's different. That's fine. that's easy.
So are you guys? You've never been to Dino's? Never been to Dino's?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, biggest I've done's probably LST.
Oh, it's just gonna blow your freaking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna blow your mind. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Because you're talking about SEMA, and you've been saying it's like this is like an extension of SEMA.
Yeah.
It's
Just
like,
the amount of vendors. 240
Yeah.
vendors.
Well,
Is
that's more.
wild.
That's more than double the trucks that we get for our big show each year. Like
You got more vendors than a truck.
truck show. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
because what's the Motor X, right?
MotorX is like our most elite car show.
Yeah.
At home.
So it's almost like SEMA, but it's not a trade show; it's an actual show.
Yeah, it's an actual show.
And then what's the big award that you can win? Is it Street Machine of the
Street
Year?
Machine of the Year or Summer Nats.
Yeah, you can win Street Machine of the Year, Summonats Grand Champion, MotorX have their elite award and stuff like Best of
Yeah.
Show type thing as well.
Didn't Jasmine's truck win one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she won Street Machine of the Year, which all the Bogan Australian
Rednecks.
Yeah, right. I know what a
were
bogan
up in
is.
arms about.
Yeah, because it's a mini truck.
Because a mini truck.
Yeah.
Like Street Machine of the Year is like Commodores and old Holdens and yeah.
that was the Tacoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's a high. Is it?
A Hilux,
It's a
with
Hilux.
Tacoma front, Tacoma,
Yeah.
Oh,
Tacoma
okay.
bedsides. Like
Yeah.
Gen
she's-
3 surf front.
Anything,
yeah.
everything and anything's been touched
Oh,
on.
that thing's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like-
But it's the Green Truck Syndicate. Like Aaron Gregory, his 51 Chev, mini truck, green. Chad Ribbons won it with his HT. And they got up in arms about that because it's only got a little 202 6-cylinder in it. Green, got it, then Jazz Green. So there's a big
Oh,
conspiracy.
there's a conspiracy like got to paint it green.
So my truck's
So
going
she
green.
so she paints her stout green, then she's gonna win.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that stout could go any colour it wants to. It's still going to get it.
Are you going to take yours to Motor X?
I planned on when I did the Freestyle Rides magazine shoot a while ago. I sort of said I'm building it for MotorX, but back then the quality wasn't what it is now. So back then you could probably build a car for $200,000 and it would be that sort of level. But now people are spending $500 to $1 million on a build. Like it probably will still do okay there, and like people will want to see it because it's something different. But it's not built to the level that these new cars are getting built to.
Yeah.
How does that compare to like a Riddler?
Riddler, obviously, if you're building a Riddler, it can't be seen by anyone. Like it can't but the Riddler is just sort of next level on sort of.
Well, that's what I mean.
those
Is like
things.
so is the Street Machine Award catching up?
Street,
nowhere
a
near.
Street Machine Award, so is just voted by the general public. So
Oh, okay.
It's obviously you've got to have a cool car, but it's a popularity contest as well. Like
Oh,
if you
I
have,
see.
Who can get the most
if you have a
likes.
million people that will want to vote for you, you're going to win.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
but yeah,
Whereas Summer Nats Grand Champ's a bit of a driving event. It's like you have to do driving events in it as well. It's not just your car looks really cool and it's got a big shiny motor.
And is so Summer
It's
Nats it's the big, all the burnouts.
Yeah,
The
it's a big horsepower festival.
Big horsepower, and they also have the show side of it too.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
And they do a dyno thing as well. So,
Yeah.
but it's mainly burnouts and show cars.
Which those cars are now spilling over into us because you have like
Yeah,
Cletus
yeah.
has bought a couple.
And
or
I think
built.
a few people are over here. I think a few
Yeah.
big burnout dudes are over here at the moment.
They
Like
were at
the-
SEMA.
They came over here with Burnout Masters
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, there's a couple cars that stay over here, I think.
Well, Farm Truck and Agent came to Summonats a couple of times already.
It's
They did a skid and binned it into the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So that would have been embarrassing for them. But
There's nothing over here like that.
yeah,
And people are trying to get that way. Like they're doing a lot of the burnout stuff now. But that summer nat stuff, those motors and stuff, how instantly those tires turn from.
yeah. So they get so the point system is like on speed, like the technical side, and like they have like heat sink cameras to know when you've let on and off the brake, so to see if you're on song the whole time, like and like how much smoke, like
Crowd reaction.
yeah, crowd reaction. It's crazy.
Oh, wow. That's really
it's a-
intricate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How many people in the crowd now have cancer?
Yeah.
Dude, we did that thing in Nashville, that burnout thing. I was like, this is dumb.
The diehard people actually hang off the side of the. So it's obviously fenced off. It's got the concrete barriers, and then there's a mesh fence, and the diehards like hang off the fence. And by the end of the day, they're black, like just sticky rubber. They stink. Like
And they love it.
Yeah.
They think of nothing better than being that for 4 days straight and
Yeah.
drunk.
It's crazy.
It's a wild one, isn't
yeah, that's
it?
the Australian redneck
Yeah.
side of things.
The bogans.
Yeah, the
The
bogans.
bogans.
Yeah,
It's funny because I've spoken to people about it and they're like, we don't understand summer nats. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you've got a 2,500 horsepower car. Why don't you want to go fast? I was like,
It's only
just-
to spin the tires.
Yeah, it's not made to race at all.
because you guys did it's like the street outlaw thing. Like it's you build a fast car to go out onto the street and beat the person next to you. Like
Yeah.
It's always been quarter mile.
Yeah.
Who can the most horsepower, but also the most traction.
yeah,
The right chassis setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything to get to the end the fastest,
Yeah.
and also be consistent if you're doing bracket racing.
Yeah.
So it's not always about the fastest; it's also about
It's
consistency.
another thing that's like ingrained into our car culture is drag racing, quarter mile drag
that
racing.
just goes right back to all
It's,
that.
yeah,
stuff.
it's just part of it.
Yeah. So when people see the burnout stuff, they're like, I don't know, I don't understand
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah, because usually in that world, the burnout is just like a pre thing. It's not really even part of the main.
It's to get the tires warmed.
yeah,
up.
and then you race.
yeah. Down there, they just were like,
We're just gonna smoke the tires off this thing.
yeah.
And there's
awesome.
sponsored events now, and like Burnout Masters have, I think, 10 cars that they, you qualify at Summer Nats for them, and if you get selected, you're sponsored for tyres and transport, and you get to go around different events around the country and around the world now, and
yeah,
just go do burnouts and cover bogans in rubber and throw some smoke.
so
It's just like a different approach at building too, because they're relying like on a lot of low end torque kind of stuff, rather than like
they're just monster power and gearing and
yeah,
stuff.
gearing and yeah.
And then, like he said, it's just like figuring out how to keep off of the brake because brake is like cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone like Americans wanted to come over to Australia to go to a show, and they're mini truckers, it would be basically halfway or East Coast Cruise.
Halfway or ECC at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah. And East Coast Cruise is put on by Negative Camber, and what's halfway is put on by
ground level.
Ground level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of that show that Carrie used to put on?
Wrong turn.
Oh, wrong.
Yeah, because that was hers was up north, right?
Yeah, it has a super front nose.
Yeah. And that's almost it now, right?
Yeah,
You guys have severed SummerSlam.
yeah. We have a Severed Slam, but it's like every 3 years type
okay.
thing.
And Russ does his
Yeah,
thing
there's
at-
like other tiny little
Cruise to the
things.
Pines now.
Yeah, we've got
Yeah,
Cruise
Cruise
to
to
the
the
Pines.
Pines. Actually, yeah,
That's
that's,
getting
that's an
big.
annual
getting
one.
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Perfect Poise as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have heaps. We used to have like CCS, Mini Madness, and they've just all started to drop off. Like, mini truck scene got stagnant and then dropped down for a while. No one's building anything anymore, really. Like,
Some clubs disbanded and
yeah,
things happened.
And it's just hard to build over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Expensive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have to pay someone, like, if to do a bag and a body drop over there now, you're probably looking at 25, 30 grand if you're lucky.
Yeah.
What about like the C10 stuff over there? So is it like, I know there's like C10 Club Australia and there's C10 people over there and stuff like that, but is there a C10 specific show over there?
No.
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 Not yet.
There's not yet, yeah. But there's like what was that one? It's in like it seems like it's out in the middle of nowhere and they do it in like a backyard and it's like a big party.
I'm not sure.
No, you've lost me.
Oh, I forgot. I don't know what that was.
You're making it up.
I'm making it up. Because what's the guy that bought Mal's F1?
Jet.
Jet.
Oh, Mouse sold his F100?
Oh, a long time ago.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I think I saw Jet posted like him and
Yeah,
his buddies
okay.
went. But then there's
They're a different breed.
yeah, Cooley rocks on, right?
Yeah, Cooley Rocks on the ME. So that's like one of the biggest shows that we take all our vehicles to.
Yeah.
But it's not a show. It's more just a car festival. There's no awards, but
Yeah.
it's like they take over an entire like the whole town shuts down. Like all the roads are blocked. Like everything turns into the 50s and 60s. Everyone's spinning around, spin dancing or swing dancing, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, okay. So it's like a rockabilly.
Like a Viva.
Yeah, like a rockabilly
Oh, like
thing.
a Viva Las
Yeah.
Vegas kind of thing. Oh,
You got like everyone down here that has like the fully restored factory cars, and everyone up here that has like the everything's been chopped up. And
So do mini truckers go to that?
no,
No.
no.
you sort of get shunned by the old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
The what guys? The,
the older guys. Yeah.
older guys. I thought you said
Yeah.
the alt guys. Like, oh,
No, not the alternative guys.
yeah.
They're your favourites.
And that's the only show Mal goes to, right?
That's the only show Mal goes to.
Well, like he was kind of like a rockabilly type kind of dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not never a mini trucker.
Right.
No,
Which is odd that he started a mini truck club.
you gave him the reins.
He showed me a good time.
Yeah,
There you go. If you want a chapter, show Brian a good time. Get these
My good times have changed though since 2000,
Right.
that was 2011.
Now you just want to be like taking out a nice little.
Yeah, feed me some pizza. Take me to a good pizza place.
Yeah.
we were talking about in the car
touristy
today.
things.
Yeah.
We were talking about in the car today. We're like, so like Severed, RA, Triple F. I'm sure other clubs are the same, but there's a chapter in America, Canada, Japan, and Australia.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on in like Germany, Europe? Like, is there?
I wonder
how
that
come no
too.
one else is like?
Because Germany never had mini trucks. They had VWs and the trucks and stuff, but they didn't. Because I know a couple guys in Germany. Like one guy has got a Chrysler 300, and then I know another guy who's got I think he has a S10. But there's not a group of people. They're just very sporadic, and their laws over there are really strict too.
And also, I don't know about Germany, but maybe like UK and Europe's, whatever. Like you were saying, Australia's car culture isn't huge, but there is still a car culture there.
Yeah.
Places like that, there's zero car culture.
No, there is.
Like-
There's huge car culture over there. There's
In-
huge
in Europe?
But it's just like different types of cars.
BMWs,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Euro shows.
Euro.
Maybe
Huge
maybe
Euro
not
shows.
the culture like I.
Well, think about like oh damn it, what's the show I went to in Georgia?
Oh yeah, well, the Worcestershire. I don't know.
Worcestershire.
And every time you say that,
Worthersea.
Worthersea, yeah.
Worthersea is a huge show.
That's true. I take that back.
No, there is a car scene there. It's just not a truck scene.
Yeah,
they don't
that's
have-
when. So one of my idea of car culture is not the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
But
as
they don't have trucks at all.
No, they don't use trucks.
not a
they
big
use vans.
custom car culture.
They use
Yeah,
vans.
okay.
They didn't get trucks.
How can they-
Germans aren't known for being really fun anyway after the 40s.
More World War II jokes.
They're always the villain in every movie. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just it's just a different thing. And but a lot of sports cars, like
That makes sense. Yeah.
My buddy that comes to the Chubb show every year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he owns. He's got a mini truck, tilt bed. All that.
Our
stuff.
other friend from Germany. He's
Yep.
I'm sorry, I forget your name, but
You're just German.
I know
Yeah.
my German friend.
Yeah, so it's just very few and far between.
Yeah.
Because we were even mentioning like Thailand
Yeah,
today.
Thailand.
Like
They
they've
have-
got
Thailand's
oh,
got a
yeah,
huge
huge
scene.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they race anything,
and
dude.
Brazil.
Yeah,
Boats,
Yeah.
scooters, go
Tractors.
karts. Yeah, tractors.
Yeah, Thailand, the
Saudi
tractors.
Thailand.
Thailand. Yeah, they're wild one too. And Brazil, they're just hammering.
Have you seen that dude? I don't know. I think he's from Brazil. He's got like a red. It almost looks like a Colorado, but like a Brazilian version of
the one I
Colorado.
showed you that goes down the dirt road?
Yeah, he like lives on a dirt road and he's like going through mud and stuff. Dude, they built some wild stuff down there.
Yeah.
I think he is. He think he's Brazilian as
I
well.
think so too. Yeah, they don't. I think what here's the big common denominator between Australia, Canada, and the United States is we all speak English.
That's true.
But Japan.
Well, Japan.
Japan speaks English too.
Yeah, like
You know
they
what I
speak
mean?
very well.
Well,
yeah.
Japan is just very influenced by American culture anyway.
Big time. Yeah, between music and automobiles, and
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Toyota, Nissan, they came from freaking
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
So it's there's no cars that came from Brazil really that we care about. So. And we don't speak that language or something. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
You get tired? Usually
I'm tired.
Usually I'm the one who's getting tired and I check out early. Seems like
Yeah.
you're checking out a little
I am
early.
checking out. I'm thinking about tomorrow. And I'm looking, is that a crack in my ceiling up there?
I don't know.
Right above
no,
the
that's
TV.
just a shadow.
You're seeing things. Where are we at? How far did we make it?
We're at an hour 42.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Anything else you want to ask us?
Any
Australian-
burning
doesn't have to
Australian
be car.
questions?
Snakes? You got a lot of snakes
Yeah,
down
you guys
there?
are always
Snakes,
you always get
spiders.
pegged as the dangerous, like all sorts of crazy
But
like
it's
things
all-
trying to kill you.
Like, I mean,
Is that a prevalent problem?
Not really. Like, I grew up farming. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up walking through paddocks with snakes, and you're aware that they're around, but
It's like here. There's snakes out in the desert here.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't
You don't go and
fuck
pat
with them,
them.
they're not going to
No.
No.
really do much.
Don't
Like,
piss them off. Throw sticks and rocks at them.
yeah, the most common two snakes you'll find are a diamond python, which is harmless, and a red belly black snake that is more scared of you than you are of it.
What about the tunnel spiders? The
Funnel webs?
funnel. Yeah, there you go.
You don't see them much. Like, and if you're in that, like, if you live around that area, you're obviously aware that.
I saw the
can come
biggest
and go.
lizard of my life crossing the freeway when we were coming home from ECC.
Oh yeah.
It was a
goanna
big
or something.
black.
Goanna, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I was just like, "What is that? An alligator crossing the road?"
An alligator.
Yeah,
And
no,
then the
they're
last time we were there, it was all the bats were migrating.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. I told Max they were wombats. Max
I
Fish.
know, and he
And he
believed you.
fully believed it. I'm like, yeah, they're wombats flying around. He's like, holy fuck.
They were fruit bats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're huge.
Yeah.
And they're just like they're not in flocks. It's just like one.
Yeah, they look like dogs, right? Are those the ones?
Not like fucking any dog I've ever seen.
Anyway, one
dogs.
other Australian animal question. I saw a video one time with, I guess there's this big like invasive frog species,
Cane toads.
and
Toads,
the
yeah.
guy was driving a VW bus and he was running him over.
Yeah. We used to fill their mouth with lighter fluid and light them on fire and hit them with golf clubs.
Is that where Beavis and Butthead got that? Do you guys watch Beavis and Butthead?
A little bit of it, not
Okay, where they had frog baseball.
Yeah, that was pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
That was a. People
Yeah,
just couldn't get rid of
I don't know if you still get paid, but you used to get paid per cane toad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Like it
kill
wasn't
'em,
anything.
You freeze them and you take them and you get paid.
Yeah, I remember a guy driving this VW bus and he's just like pop, 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 running these things over.
It's
Anyway,
like the 10-cent can collection, but you got gross cane toad sitting in your freezer.
Yeah, you got to buy an $800 freezer to get.
let me guess, the
$7.50.
Bogans would be just stacking them shits.
Now they
and-
eat them.
No, they wouldn't even be freezing them. They'd just be in the back of the ute.
Yeah, just chuck them in the back.
That's all my animal questions.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, when did Dino's get to the stage that it is now? Or was it like 2-3 years ago? To when it was like
That's his department.
So 2020 was there. So 2019 was probably the first real big year. He did it at a water park.
yeah, okay.
Or
That was 2 years, right?
It was 2018. I could look on my thing, but so he used to do it at his appliance repair shop.
Yeah.
Or the first year was
The
at his
first year was
house.
his house, yeah.
Just a couple guys. Then appliance repair
It
shop.
was like a pre-thing for good guys.
yeah, pre-show for good guys.
Yeah.
And then that's why it's Friday.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, why is it Friday? It's because it's tradition. It was always on Friday. And then one year it just got too big for the appliance repair shop, and I think the land across where we'd park was sold. So he took it to this water park that's out here. And that was 1 year, and it outgrew that instantly. And then it was in the parking lot for 2 years, like where the stadium is now.
Yeah.
There's Westgate, which is the big entertainment complex. And it was in the parking lot there. 2022 or 2020, 2021. And then 2022, 2023, it moved to the stadium now. And the reason that it's like this is because, for one, it's for a free event.
Yeah.
There's no registration. It's just you come in and park. 2, Dino is just this guy that supports everybody. He's just like, everything's cool to him. He's not judgmental. He's nothing. He's just a super nice guy. And he builds a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So people support him. He supports everybody. People support him.
Does more of the car park get opened up every year, or is it just he has the whole car park and whatever he feels, he feels?
So the current stadium, the first year he did it, it was there's this grass, they call it the tailgating area, and it was only on one side. And then last year they opened it up to both sides, and this year it's both sides again.
Yeah, okay.
So they say 8,000 trucks. I don't know if it's quite 8,000 trucks.
Which isn't like, and even if it's 7,000 trucks, that's
It doesn't
still
matter if
insane.
it's 5,000
Yeah, I know.
8,000
You
trucks
can't really
is-
tell the difference between 6,000 or 9,000.
No. Once you get up to that point, it doesn't really matter.
My legs will tell the difference with walking
I
from
don't,
one
I
end
don't
to the
think you
other.
could. I don't think.
You have to, when do you go back to work? Because you've been now at SEMA. You've been gone for a month. You went to Mexico City.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been an all-star event, and so like you guys are going to go back home and need a vacation when you get home.
Yeah, so I fly back Monday night and I land Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. and I'm back at work Thursday.
Wow.
Well,
You
I'm
fucking
physically
burnt.
at work Thursday, but
Yeah.
And on Friday,
yeah.
back at work.
I was laying under
Crazy.
the car and just zipped on my hands on a tail shaft.
Half your luck. I've actually got to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm going to a show the next weekend.
Yeah, we're going to, that's going to be chill. That's going to be super chill.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
It must be nice.
And then we got Severed after that
and that's it till LST.
for shows. We're going to do some podcasts and
Oh, yeah.
club party.
That's true.
But that's all fun stuff.
yeah,
That's not like work.
yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. Dino's 240 Yeah, you're gonna feel it. 240 vendors, thousands of trucks.
Mm-hmm. After a while, though, you're going to go like, oh, okay.
And I'm at an Airbnb where I'm sure I'm not going to get much sleep either. So,
No, you're with Dooley and Brett.
Dooley, Brett, Peabody. So,
Brett Oaks?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so when I flew in at 6:30 at night. I was stuck in customs for 2.5 hours. And then I got my rental car and it was about 11 o'clock. And then I punched in Brett's address and it's like 2-hour drive at night in the rain. First time driving on the other side of the
In LA.
road.
Oh my gosh.
In 6 years. So
And
I
you
was
went from
like,
LA to Yucca Valley?
Yeah, so I'm
No,
like,
he's in Marietta,
Oh, okay.
Menifee area.
Oh.
yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna die. Like tonight's the night. Like my head was just like on the windscreen, like in the wet, like, and it, obviously it never really rains at all, like in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
all
Brett
the
doesn't know
roads
how
were
to
super
drive.
slippery, and yeah, it was fun.
That's crazy.
And then you get to Brett's at like what 3 a.m.
I got to Brett's at like almost 1 o'clock. He's like, open the door. He's like, bed's there.
Cool.
Oh man, yeah, we're gonna have Brett on the podcast soon, and that's gonna be
It's
interesting.
going to be fun.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Nah, that'd be good.
Was
That's
that
going to be our first Patreon episode.
yeah? Was that your first time meeting Brett in person?
I met Brett in 16 at like a Halloween car show like event.
Yeah.
Trunk or treat? I don't know what it's called.
Trunk, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, I met him there and chatted with him ever since.
Yeah. So you've been chatting with him like online and stuff? or
Yeah,
what?
every now and then.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
How long have you been in Severed?
I got in 2008.
Oh,
when
so
did I
long
come
time.
over? 16.
16.
No, you came over.
18. Yeah, 2018. And I was petitioning
Oh.
for 3 years before that.
Okay.
And then I was in Freaks for 2 years before that. And I was petitioning for Severed for 2 years before Freaks. Just came back to my roots.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
you were in Severn.
I was petitioning for Severed at the start. And then I left to go to Freaks. Because I made a real good connection with the Freaks guys.
With Jap and those guys, like,
No,
or were there already freaks down
there was
there?
already
right?
Freaks down there, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, with Steve and Tim and a few other boys, and then they sort of disbanded and turned into there's not much left, and then rekindled with all the Severed guys and been hanging with them ever since.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Trader.
I'm just back. I'm back.
He said he had his truck on a freak shirt and then now a Severed shirt.
Yeah, don't
I
tell-
do remember that. Yeah.
So I'm like, now which club are
Don't
you
tell
gonna
Brett.
get
It's not
next?
public. Like no one knows. No one knows that. No one knows that Freak shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brett doesn't listen. Brett listens to this.
It was on like the Freaks guys did my shirt and Blake's car on a khaki like Steve Irwin
Mm-hmm.
button up.
What was Blake? He had a
R.A. Rodeo.
So you like your Colorado?
yeah.
A matte black one.
Yeah,
on
I remember
24s.
that. Yeah, that was a good. That was
And
cool.
then it ended up getting painted silver, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like no one wore it because it was like a Steve Irwin type khaki thing.
I do. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Everything from Australia is just kangaroos.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
so stupid.
Do you guys ever get tired of the tropes?
Nah,
Nah.
I'm sure you
Just
guys don't get tired of the.
the guns and the shootings. And It's just like AR-15s and buckets of ranch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Dip, dip, dip.
The guns
Dip the AR in.
Get the bullets in the ranch.
the trigger the barrel into the ranch, and then you shoot people.
And then when the ranch is done, you use it as a suppressor.
Now you know your next Triple F shirt.
Yeah. buckets of ranch.
And we're just shooting at each other.
Yeah.
It's that meme where it's like this.
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man, but it's
Yeah.
guns.
But it's guns and ranch at the Aussie.
Ranch.
We have the beer things full of ranch that go into our mouth.
Yeah. That's what I was going to tell you. My old club, one of our meetings, one of the other people, like their kids, took a thing of ranch and just started drinking it. That was the foulest thing I've ever
That's
seen in my
such
life.
American.
Just going for them all. Oh my god.
I think I saw that at the gas station today. You could actually buy, like, it's in the cold section. There's a bottle of ranch. You just drink straight out of the bottle. No?
No.
No. I mean,
Whatever, man. You're making fun of us.
Yeah, podcast and
And on that note.
and on that note,
Well, thanks for sitting with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for your hospitality.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
It's been weird sharing a bed, but it's okay.
You get used to it.
We live in a one-bedroom house, and we're all staying.
It's a studio.
yeah.
You have everybody fooled like you live in a house. It's just a studio.
I know. It's just like a legitimate studio.
This is a green screen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Just behind the camera.
This is a warehouse. We're
It's
sitting in a
also
warehouse.
not Christmas, but our tree's up.
You know,
Yeah,
every time
we'd
you
have
put
it
up
up in
a
March.
Christmas tree before December, you kill an elf.
Chelsea.
I'll leave it
That's
up all
Chelsea.
year.
Yeah.
She only set up one. We have 2 Christmas trees. She only set up one
Wow.
So far.
so far.
Well, then, if Chelsea's killing all the elves, then I'm saving them because I'm like, I don't do that.
Do you even set up a Christmas tree at all?
We do. It's a whole thing.
Frank doesn't like Christmas.
Me either.
No, why? It just cost me money.
Right? You said you had kids, right?
Yeah, 2 kids.
You got 2. Oh, see? It's a thing, right? And then it's just
10,
like
10 and a 2-year-old.
Nope.
No.
a 10 and a 2-year-old. I have a
Yeah.
15 and a 12-year-old. And it's like presents and more. And then I was just telling Chelsea earlier, we lay out all the gifts on the thing. And then it's like, oh, this kid's got 6. This kid's got 7. Ah! It's
Yeah.
like, ah.
Do you feel like you have to buy yourself a present so your kids see you opening something? Like, they're like, what did you get, Dad? And like,
Lynx Africa.
just make me a mug or make me something that doesn't cost me any money.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay. Yeah, no, that's true. No, they always give me good gifts. They always give me a new Rams hat. They give me a new Rams hat for Christmas.
Angie bought it for you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to have to get Christmassy this year because my partner's got kids.
Oh yeah.
So I've got to get them Christmas presents and her and then my family. And
Get him some ranch.
well, I can't.
Look what I bought back from America. Boom. Ranch.
I can't take an AR home with me, so
Ranch. Next best thing, a
Trust-
bucket of ranch.
and a bulletproof backpack.
Did you buy those we did buy those Vaxseal bags today. We could fill them with ranch
Oh,
and Vaxseal
I'll bring
the
'em on my-
bags.
I couldn't take them on my carry-on, so I'd have to be really careful how they loaded them.
Yeah,
Easy with that.
yeah, fragile.
It's vacuum sealed ranch. It's just like those, those water beds. It's just like a water bed of ranch.
It'll be interesting when we go through customs and declare the food. Yeah, I've got about 20 litres of ranch.
Christmas presents, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. I get it.
That'd be really awkward for the dude that's handling the bag and it's just like dripping white ranch. You had to be like,
Easy, be easy, buddy.
yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Anyway, all right. Well,
All right.
we'll see you next week.
Yep. Later.
Bye.